This week's episode of the Co-optionaI Podcast is proudly sponsored by Squarespace. Get 10% off your first order at squarespace.com/cooptional. Create your own professional-looking website with no prior knowledge required at squarespace.com/cooptional. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-optionaI Podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hello.
Oh my gosh,
Hey.
TB, I just found the perfect gift for you, and I'm so excited to send it to you.
Is this revenge for the Secret Santa?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm
Okay.
going to send the link to Sam so that we can corroborate and make sure that we're both on the same page, but I feel pretty solid about it.
Hmm.
For those of you who don't know, TB sent Sam and I quite the box of goodies. It's,
Quite the gift.
Yeah.
Quite a goodie
It was
box.
extremely generous and very useful. Very practical gifts, all, I believe.
I think so. There
Quite
have
the
been
gifts.
there have been multiple times where Sam has been wearing that under new management shirt, just like around the house, and then we'll leave the house and he's hit with this realization of, oh no, I'm wearing this outside.
It's back.
This is from TB.
I know.
Dude, that thing helped you up in Hearthstone packs.
It didn't actually. We established it was terrible.
That's pretty bad.
The pipe helped you.
Truly scientific statistical gathering on that. You got really bad cards as a result. Nothing but Annoyatrons. Nothing
Yeah,
but
but when I had the pipe in my mouth, I got legendaries coming out my ears.
Yeah, the pipe was the golden
That's
child.
I was
sweet
gone
Sherlock power.
I can't wait to take both of you to Vegas at some point and see how much money you lose. It's going to be great.
I've been to a casino like probably 10 times, and I think every time I only brought like $40, and only once did I win.
Oh, I like to do the thing where I get out a 20, and then if I make money off of that 20, I'll be like, cool. And then I'll take a 20 again and like see if I'll make money off of it.
No.
But if I don't make money, if I like put the 20 in and I don't make any money off of it, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Obviously, it's not in the cards for the day. But if you like wind up with a decent amount of months from the $120 bill, then it's like, okay, I can reuse this 20 again because it did good for me, right?
That's a surefire formula to lose all your money without gaining anything, but okay.
I very rarely walk away with less money.
See, here's what I do. I take $200. I put 100 on red and 100 on black. I just keep doing that all night. And then I leave with $200.
What?
Except when you hit green, and then you lose it.
Yeah.
Except for then.
Yeah.
That never happens. That's fine.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
None of you
Welcome-
understand odds at all. Okay.
Welcome to the gambling podcast.
Yeah.
We occasionally talk about slot machines.
Sponsored by FanDuel.
No. I haven't seen much of those websites lately. Have they finally been like
been getting
declared
sued.
illegal? Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they're not sued, but yeah, they're like, you need to stop doing that. And they're
Yeah.
like, we're not gambling, we're just risk taking for money. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's weird, man. There are so many ways that companies are trying to get around those laws. It's
Yeah.
I just find it bizarre that this country even has those laws. It's like, we're the
I
freest
know.
country in the world, and in many ways the most restrictive.
Yeah.
It's just
weird.
like, There's gambling machines in every pub in the UK. There's amusements, as they call them, on every corner. You know, it's very common. Online gambling and stuff, you can do it easy, no problem. And then in this country, it's like, because at one point I thought, hey, I'd love to bet on an esports event. Can I do that in this country? No, apparently I can't. Like, why?
God, that would be the dream. I would love to do that.
Well, people in Europe do it all the time. There's websites for that, but you're not allowed to do it in this country. Like, what? Why not? Like,
yeah, one day.
Yeah.
One day. At some point.
Pretty dumb.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
not
dumb.
100% sure where that's going with that. Speaking of dumb, yeah, Jesse hasn't shown up again because I believe he's on a plane back from the UK. He ran off to the UK for
traveled
3 weeks.
around the world in the past month.
Yeah,
That segue was perfect. Perfect. I'm just really impressed.
I mean, yeah, it's just, can I slap an insult together with Jesse Cox in some way, in which case segue functions correctly. It's great.
I mean, you've been practicing that formula for years now. So
oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like you can
practicing is a good
literally
way.
Any conversation into a Jesse Cox something or other.
Some
No
kind
doubt.
of roast.
Mm-hmm.
I legit messaged him like, hey, you want to do a podcast thing? He's like, no, I'm in Germany. I'm like,
For some
okay.
reason.
And then I'm like, hey, you want? He's like, no, I'm in New York now. I'm like, hey, you want? He's like, no, I'm leaving for England. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like, do you intend to actually work at any time? Like, is that...
Dude, he spent like a week busting his ass to just make as much content as possible for a month and a half because he was like, I'm gonna be gone forever. I was like, okay, enjoy, buddy.
Yep. I'm burned out on traveling over the last few weeks, man. I'm done. You know, I've done a couple of cons, couple of events. I'm like, you know, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, nothing else till CoxCon, I think. And I'm not going to do E3. God, that place is a nightmare. Are you any of you guys going to E3?
No.
I had planned on it, and
You
then I
learned
was
your
like,
lesson.
you know what? I don't want to go. No, I'm
Dude,
not
this is
going.
my first year in a while that I don't have to go. And I'm like, hell nah. I'm staying home. I'm so excited.
I was just talking the other day about how I enjoy watching E3 and being one of the like shitty Twitch people. It's like, ha, this game sucks. Instead of like actually going there and playing it for myself, being like, wow, this game sucks, and I waited an hour to play it.
I mean, with the streaming side of things, I don't even think there's a need to go to E3 anymore, because all the conferences that you used to have to wait for the fucking websites to report are now streamed live on Twitch, which
just
makes
get
those
to watch.
websites completely obsolete. And it's like, well, why the hell should I go then? I could just sit at home and... I might do the whole snark on the stream thing this year, because I know Twitch was doing that last year. I think that might be fun to put together.
It's fun.
That's what me and Dodger are doing with JP and Co.
Yeah.
Just doing a drop frame snark on the E3 reveal edition.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
It is the way to go.
And
I mean,
that
the
way
show
you
is
can
a giant ad.
House,
Gamers.
let's get dressed.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, the show's a giant ad, so it really deserves to be snarked on, you know?
I think so.
It's not really a show where you go to actually experience cool new games and enjoy them. That's PAX. That's what PAX is for.
Well, that's honestly how I feel about San Diego Comic-Con now too. Every time I go to San Diego Comic-Con, I'm like, there's so many people I literally can't do anything. It feels like there's no point to being here at all. I got my absolute favorite Mondo prints in the world at Comic-Con one year, and that's like, out of the things that I can remember from Comic-Con, that's the highlight from all of the years, is that I got
I've
like an
not
exclusive
heard good
Comic-Con
things about
exclusive
Comic-Con these days, just because of how big it's gotten. I mean, we had an opportunity to go a few years ago in San Diego. We saw how many people were there, and we're like, nope, like, you can't even move in the corridors. What's the point?
And yeah, just word to the wise for anybody who's tiny like I am, you literally won't see anything. There are so many people just right here. You can't. You'll smell a lot of armpits and you will see nothing. You'll walk right next to people who are like, "Oh my God, is that Jared Padalecki?" And you'll be like, fuck it, never mind. I can't. There's no way.
No.
Small people problems.
Small people problems. Comic-Con is a nightmare. If you're short, you will suffocate and die there.
Yeah, go to smaller events. Well, I was at MomoCon this weekend, and that's the right size for conventions, I think. Like that is, it's like there are
PAX
people.
South size. PAX
Yeah,
South is-
I haven't been to South yet, but I like the idea of PAX South's not insane
South.
nature.
Is nice.
It was
Of
too
all the
small,
PAXs,
man.
Mhm.
it's really small.
South was like a ghost town.
Yeah, was great.
That sounds amazing.
Play everything. You got to talk to everybody. It was great.
Right, but like, at what point do you realize that your con is getting too big, and then how do you keep it? Like, do you sabotage your own con to get?
I don't know. I mean, because
I feel like
you expand at some point. You know, Dragon Con is spread across like 6 hotels now because of how big it is.
yeah, Dragon Con, it was nuts because you would realize, oh, the area where all of the merch is like 3 blocks that way.
Yeah.
Because there were just so many different buildings just full to the brim. But I think just for a lot of cons, they wind up expanding to a ludicrous point, right? Just realizing like, this is a nice size and then sticking with it.
You can't.
Why not?
As people think, as your con gets more popular, you hit capacity. So either you're gonna have a shit time with too many people in a venue, or you have to grow. You have to expand. They don't have a choice.
No, what I'm saying is like,
you have something where they sabotage their own con, like leak out like farts through the air vents or something, and everyone's like, "Do you remember the great fart fiasco of PAX East? I'm not going next year."
Are you suggesting chemical warfare is a good response?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because you always establish a certain number of tickets that you're going to sell. And then what happens with a lot of conventions, and why a lot of conventions their first year do fine and then their second year do awful, is because their second year they're like, we could do like double the number we did last year.
Yeah.
That would be fine. And then it just turns into a fucking shit show. So I think if you realize a certain number of people is a good number, there's nothing wrong with continuing to make something exclusive, even if the demand for more tickets is there. It's just saying no to greed. But I guess it's hard.
Yeah, that seems like the way to go with it. I think like PAX Prime is getting to the point of being a little big as well for the venue too. I know like a couple of years ago when I went, I felt a little bit too full, and now it feels even kind of crazier than that. I think PAX East still has a decent sized venue. You know, it's still got a lot of like floor space, and it still seems to work pretty well. But if I recall correctly, isn't PAX Prime is on like 6 floors, and it's got that giant escalator down the middle, and that ends up just being a nightmare to move around.
It's like it's like a 2-hall one, I think. I think it's like
Is
a
it?
convention with.
Are you sure about that?
I don't think it's like 6 floors. I think it's like 3 floors, but 2 halls. I don't remember.
Well, it was more than that, but I haven't been for years.
They're all blurring together.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm super burnt out on conventions right now.
Me too.
I'm still really excited for Anime Expo. That's coming up.
I'm not.
Indeed.
Boo!
Boo and hiss and so forth. And none of us for E3. Like, I can't even think of what I'm even looking forward to hearing about from E3 at this point.
Yeah.
I would love to see more information, I guess, about what's going to be happening with the new PlayStation version. You know, the one that doesn't suck quite as much. And the Neo or whatever.
4.5.
Yeah, the 4.5 pretty much.
Yeah.
I want to know more about that. I want to see like just how much faster is it going to be? You know, how many improvements are we going to see? Are we going to see like a generation of games where you can pick between 60 and 30? You know, you can choose your resolution and stuff like that. That would be great. I'd love to do that. That would be fantastic. I mean, the missus has been recently replaying the Uncharted remastered collection. And that is a fuckload better now that they read it. It's like, hey, you can play them at 60, but then they release the latest and it's like, oh, it's 30. It's like, oh, well, I kind of like the older ones at 60 rather than the new, shinier one at 30, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get something like that. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see what's coming of it.
Did the remastered Dragon's Quest 7 and 8, are they already out?
Don't think so. Not that I know of. How are they going to remaster that exactly? Because
I don't know. That's what I want to know, because it's like the Toriyama Dragon Ball Z style art, and I'm like, how do?
I mean, you can up-res it, you know, because isn't it still like 4x3 game? You know, it'd be nice for it to be in 16:9. So I remember, you know, I beat that whole bloody thing because it's phenomenal, but I'm not sure what they're doing with that, because they said, hey, we're going to get it on 3DS last year, and I think they've done that now. And the fact there's going to be like is there going to be a complete HD remake of it?
I think they're supposed to be of 7 and 8 because Dragon's Quest Builders is coming out for Vita and PS4, I think.
Yeah, but I'm actually interested in playing around with builders. It looks kind of neat.
Me too. I'm cool. I have no interest in Minecraft anymore for the most part, but
As opposed to your previous large interest in Minecraft.
I know, right? But if it was like Minecraft with Dragon Quest characters, like I might be able to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't kept track of it too much, but I do like the look of it. I mean, I've always liked the art style of Dragon Quest and the characters and the way that the monsters look ridiculous. How that will fit into a sort of building, crafting, sandboxy kind of game, I don't know, but hey, I'll give it a try.
I made the argument on my news video. I made the argument that Minecraft is in the same genre as DayZ and Ark, and
It is.
there were quite right. There were quite a few people who were like, "No, you're wrong." I was like, "I'm not wrong, though.
No, you're not wrong at all. It's
They're the same game, but like."
It pretty much started those types of games in a way. Like
it did. The survival
paved
mode
the
of
way.
Minecraft kicked most of those into gear.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I think people look at Minecraft and the only thing they see is the building aspects. Like, no, for a long time, the big deal about Minecraft was the survival mode. Was the idea of, you've got to build a shelter and hide from the guys at night, and you've got to craft materials. How is that not similar to the current existing survival games? It's very similar to that. It's
Yeah.
absolutely similar. I don't know why people don't think that, because they just look at the games in a very shallow and simple way. I'm still not seeing any information about an HD remake of Dragon Quest VIII, though. Like,
What? Really?
Yeah, I don't see anything about it. I'd love it. I think that'd be great.
I'll look into it later.
Yeah, I'd kill for one of those though. That game was phenomenal at the time. And what annoys me is that every other port of it has been lacking the really good soundtrack from the PS2 version. They actually went back to it was the PS2, possibly I think it was just the Western PS2 release that had this orchestral version of the soundtrack. It was fucking killer. And then every other version, like the one you can get on iOS and shit, has gone back to the simpler kind of beepy music, which is
Right.
nowhere near as good. I don't know what happened there and why, but I'll just tell you, if you get a chance to play Dragon Quest VIII, then either emulate it on a PS2 emulator or get a PlayStation 2 and play it on disc, because that's the best version by far.
I don't know about that game, so I don't care.
Okay. At least you're honest about it. Let's move on to the
Yeah.
games that we've been playing this week, shall we? Who wants to start off? Let's not talk for an hour about Overwatch. I think we might have...
Oh,
Maybe...
you guys want to talk about Overwatch?
No, actually, I don't. Not especially. I think we've talked maybe quite a lot about it. Maybe we bring it up a little bit later, but let's talk about something else that isn't that.
Okay.
Strippin, I bet you've been playing something that's not that.
I played a lot of Total War Warhammer,
Yes. Tell us about that.
which is it's really fun. It's obviously Total War set in the Warhammer universe. You can play as vampires, orcs. You can play as humans, dwarves, chaos, and you can have huge, large-scale battles. There's also co-op modes. You can do battles with your friends, or you can team up to battle the NPC and just conquer the world, that kind of stuff. But I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Is that your first Total War game?
It is my first Total War game. I'd never played a Total War game before. And all the races are like crazily different, like very, very different. Vampires can, if they win a battle, they can use the corpses from the battlefield to make zombies and skeletons and stuff.
Oh, cool.
The orcs, like the more stuff they kill, the more like you get like war armies, which are just huge armies that flock to you because you're so popular. And that's how they work. And the chaos don't even get towns. They just have to like raise buildings one by one and grow internally. So it's like everything's crazy different. It was really fun. It looks amazing as well.
Well, this is the only one that's like Warhammer themed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is
It's the only fantasy one in general. All the others have been historic.
Fantasy one. It's the first of 3. They're going to be doing 3 Warhammer ones, and each one is going to have like 5 new races until they've got all the races in.
Cool.
The first one they did was Shogun Total War, I think. And
That was the
medieval.
very first, yes.
And then it was
Yeah.
Rome, right?
Yeah, then Rome.
It was medieval.
Those were all
It was
good.
medieval before Rome. That medieval 1.
Yeah,
then
there was
Rome.
medieval 1, Rome.
Then medieval 2.
Yeah.
And then they
I
eventually
think they
Shogun
did
2.
or Imperial. There's Imperial Total War.
Empire Total War, yeah.
Or, yeah, Empire
that
Total
one
War.
was not brilliant. It was an interesting idea, but then people suddenly realized, well, really, a lot of this is just lines of musketeers standing there shooting at each other. But it was the first one, I think, to have like really proper naval battles in it. So people were kind of about that. But it also ran like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty annoying. But then they released Napoleon Total War, which was kind of a bit of a cut down version of Empire, but it ran a lot better. It was better designed, and people liked that a bit more.
Mm-hmm. I think Medieval 2 is my favorite one.
I love Medieval 2. I'll also say that.
Crendor?
Yeah, I played this one. This one was really fun too. I think what's nice about this one is like when you play the other ones like Medieval or Rome, you kind of are the same units in a way. You're just kind of very like, you start in a different place. It's like I start in England, I start in Rome, I start here, and then you just have slight like unit variations and attribute differences. But like in this one, like everything is different, like depending on what race you pick. Like orcs, if you're not fighting as orcs, they start to go crazy and like fight each other.
Yeah.
They'll like cannibalize each other, right?
Yeah, they start fighting. So it's like you have to be constantly fighting as orcs. So they're kind of tricky to play because of that. Because sometimes you're like, I don't want to fight right now.
You like, or you've got only allies around you, and you have to break a peace treaty because otherwise you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
Not like kicking someone's door in. Yeah.
I think my favorite part of watching Sam and JP play together was Sam would give JP units to use, and then JP would just get them killed. And Sam was like, what the fuck? Because the multiplayer allows you to like give units to each other, right?
Yeah. So JP's like, he was really good at like his building management. And I was really good at the fights. So he had one fight, for example, and it was 90-10 in the enemy's favor. And we used like a hill and some woods and stuff, and we actually ended up winning. And then I had like 80-20 in my favor, and I gave JP a bunch of units, and he just like left half of them at the start line and stuff like that. It was just like, But it was fun. It was pretty funny. You just have to make sure that the person you're playing with is like also pretty good, I guess.
I'm always like really bad at the battles, so I don't like to play the battles. Like, so I'm always just like, oh, I'll just auto resolve it because it's like I'm gonna win this one. Everyone's like, you didn't play the battle. And I'm like,
I feel like you're sort of missing the point of a Total War game if you don't, because like I don't know how it is in this one, but the strategy layer of most Total War games is fairly basic. You know, I think it's intimidating for newer players, but most of the time it's just, well, you've got a city and you can build stuff in it, and then you upgrade the tier of the city, then you can build more stuff in it, and there's like set number of spots to build in. And outside of that, you know, the diplomacy layer is kind of, it works, you know, it does the job. It's not like Civilization level or like a 4X strategy game or anything like Paradox. And the battles are what sets it apart from all these other games, because all these other games have really kind of dull combat, whereas Total War is all about those big battles, you know?
Right.
yeah. But I enjoy playing it and then just like trancing out and just kind of, it's like a chill game.
Is it?
Well, it is when you don't play the battles.
I mean, I guess if you ought to play all the battles and have an overwhelming force, then yeah, I guess you don't have to do much.
Yeah.
The game sometimes screws you too, because I think I auto-resolved like a 70-30 in my favor battle, and I lost.
That's well.
And I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, that's auto-resolve for you. That's auto-resolve in every game, right? It's not a guaranteed win. Like, it's why I don't like using auto-resolve in anything, because honestly, yeah, it saves you a little bit of time, but the whole point is, unless they made you... They can't guarantee you a victory, because otherwise people would take the path of least resistance every time, right? So if you had a bigger army, and it's like, all right, well, it's 60-40, that means I'm guaranteed to win, then everyone's just going to hit that auto-resolve button. But then, the only other way to do it is to have a random chance that you don't win, right? And at that point, you're like, well, that's bullshit. I had a bigger army. Fuck, why'd I hit that button? I almost feel like auto-resolve is a real, like, crutch feature in a lot of these games that they're never going to get completely right because there's no fair way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's fantasy too, they have tons of amazing sorceries that you can do. So you can do like a tornado of flame that just like cuts through enemy units and they all like run and stuff. It's kind of awesome. And you can zoom in. I love that you can zoom in. It's probably obviously in every Total War, but you can like zoom in right into the battle. You can watch like a troll just like smashing men around and that kind of stuff.
That's the reason to play battles in any of the Total War games. If you have a bigger force and you know you're going to win, it's like, all right, well, I don't really have to do anything right now. All my units are engaged. They're all engaged in the best places. Let's zoom in and watch some fuckers get killed.
Yeah.
All the Total Wars are great for that. I still think Medieval 2 is probably the best of the series. I absolutely loved that. Rome was good too. Fucking elephant charges and shit.
Yeah, the
were
original
amazing.
Rome.
Yeah. Rome 2. No, that was broken as fuck.
Oh, now they hecked it up by the second one.
Yeah, some of the Shogun 2 was pretty good as well, though. It had some fucking horrible bugs in it, but considering they're just kind of getting to the gunpowder and modern units and shit, they had some really cool variety in that. Plus, the voice acting was hilariously bad, and that will be forever awesome. Love it.
So I've been playing a lot of Total War Warhammer. I'm going to be trying Dead by Daylight today.
Dead by Daylight. That sounds like some kind of survival thing. What's that all about?
Okay, so Dead by Daylight is like your standard 4 players and 1 monster.
Oh!
But the monster is like a giant psychopath with like meat hooks. And so you're trying to like run and hide from him, hide in lockers and stuff. If he finds you, he can like drag you and prop you up on a meat hook, and your friend has to try and sneak over and save you. And
this sounds awesome. Like, when is this? Are you doing like? Is it a pre-release stream? Like, what's going on with this?
They gave me a bunch of keys. They've given a bunch of broadcasters loads of keys to give out to viewers and stuff. So I'm assuming, like, I guess they're kind of entering like a closed beta phase or something. But yeah, you can get a key just hitting them up and get some keys for your audience and stuff. But like, I'm watching a couple of people play it on Twitch now, and it just looks really fun. So I'm gonna be trying that later.
I mean, those asymmetric games, especially with a good Twitch group, are really, really fun to play. I mean, this is a Twitch stream that they made on their channel. I'm just sort of trying to figure out what's going on with it, but I wonder how like long those games kind of can stick around. Because, I mean, we saw what happened to Evolve, right?
Right.
But games like this, they're probably going to be a lot cheaper, right? This is probably like a $15, $20 game or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's, what did I just see on Steam? It is, I think it was like 15, but they have like a bunch of different little pack things you can buy.
I think that's a good price point. Like, I think that's, you watch a stream and something looks fun, like, it's easier to convince your friends to buy a $15 game than it is like something like Evolve. I think maybe that was one of Evolve's biggest weaknesses outside of the fact that I didn't think it had the depth to really survive. That it was just a game that, good luck convincing like 4 of your friends to buy this $60 game, that was multiplayer only in order to have a good time with it.
They have a 5-pack for like $70 too. So you can like give your friends everything.
Yeah, you just like split the money between you. I think that's a good way to do that. Yeah, I think that's the right price for a game like that. I love the concept. I've been looking for more interesting, weird multiplayer games lately. I know like the Ship Remastered, I think, just got its server listed now.
Yes.
We've got to play that at some point.
We need to play that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I forgot about that game.
Stuff that is unusual, stuff that's a little bit weird, stuff that is asymmetric in some way. I think those games are so much fun. It's just, it can be difficult to convince people to play it, especially if the price point is wrong, and I almost feel like a lot of people are scared of it because of something like Evolve and how badly that flopped.
What was the name of that asymmetric game, or was it a game mode, where it was Batman and Robin were one team, and then it was of the other villain groups that were like fighting each other, but also trying to kill Batman and Robin.
It was the multiplayer mode in one of the Arkham games. I think it was Origins. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Origins. That was a really cool idea. Like, I think that was a great implementation, actually. I played a bit of it. It wasn't too well done, but I thought the idea behind it was really solid. That's a great way to do things. I think a lot of developers are very scared about giving too much power to one player, because the other players will be upset about that, but I think it creates a really cool, unique dynamic. Yeah. And I'd love to see more games do that. It's okay to have one guy be more powerful, as long as, the other guy's got a numbers advantage, they've got to work together, or they've got to do something sneaky or cool. I love that idea. Absolutely love it. It's not done anywhere near enough, though.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to check out this game actually, Strip. If you've got a spare key, I'd love to have a look at that.
I just sent them a direct message on the Twitter.
Oh,
there you go.
shit.
Well, that means they were following you, so they're already interested.
No, they just got their DMs open.
They got the DMs open for people to get in touch.
Well, you've just doomed them.
Thing.
Yeah. You just doomed them now. It's going to be 10,000 bloody DMs in there. Does look interesting, though. Yeah. That looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Shit, dude.
I'll check that out.
Apparently, they already follow the Co-optional Podcast crew.
Aw.
Sorry, the crew? As in the three of us?
Crew.
Or is there a separate Twitter
No,
that we
the three
don't...
of you.
Oh, I was going to say, is there a separate co-optional Twitter that we don't own or something? Like, there probably is, right?
I don't know,
surprise
probably.
me.
It's probably some, like, fan-made, like, the Co-optional crew.
Yes. We do not run that.
Yeah, so we should try that later.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. We should give that a shot.
And aside from that, I've just been playing Overwatch, which we're not going to touch on, so feel free to go into some.
We might talk about it later, but not right now. I think we'll talk about something that's not that. I just feel like Overwatch overload on everything, you know, just everybody just can't stop talking about that game.
Yeah. Oh, but the shit posting game has been so on point. Holy fuck. It's been just like a smorgasbord of terrible jokes on the internet about Overwatch, and I love it.
I just linked one in this chat a minute ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Some terrible.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yep. That one's pretty good.
No.
Okay, if you want, I can talk about a game that is a genre that is near and dear to TB's heart.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
Do you want to guess what the genre is?
Is it a dating sim by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay. What is it?
It's a hidden object game.
Okay, then.
Okay, so the only reason that I'm talking about it is because it's the first hidden object game where it seemed like somebody sat there and was like, how do we make hidden object games interesting and last longer?
Okay.
And
What's his name?
Change and shift. Okay, so it's called Lost Lands, a hidden object adventure.
Okay.
I clicked on it because it has overall just like super positive reviews. And I was like, all right, this seems interesting. So the idea of it is that you are on like an adventure where you have to go to different locations and find items in order to build things or find like specific magical items to progress the story and stuff like that. It's one of those games where you have a certain amount of like energy.
Okay.
So you utilize your energy and then you have to come back later and then utilize your energy.
Like a mobile game.
Like a mobile game, yeah. So it winds up being really fun because at first you're going to these same locations to get, items to build stuff or story items, whatever. And everything keeps showing up in the same spot. So it'll be like, find the turtle and find this and find that. And it's normally like 12 to 15 items each time, I think, and you're timed. But so after a while, you're like, okay, I know where everything is now. Like you can click them so fast. And I was going, all right, this is going to get boring really fast because I know where all of the objects are in all of the major zones that are available to me right now. So how are they going to change that? So after you've been to a zone a certain number of times, the whole thing just fucking switches and it'll be the exact same place. All of the items are in different spots. They add in like a bunch of new items. And so every time you level up an area, because you've been there a certain amount of times, they'll add in a bunch of new stuff and they'll like change where everything is. So you're suddenly like, wait, I thought the turtle was there. Fuck. And you're like panicking like, oh no, where's the turtle now? Oh shit, it's a completely different turtle now. Like it's, they switch it up fairly often and it actually winds up being really fun. And then you can find like chests and things that put you into completely different game mode where it's a puzzle and you have to figure out like how to connect gems or how to connect like certain colors together. And they figured it out. I don't know. They figured out how to take a hidden object game and be like, okay, how do we make it so that this continues on for a while?
How do we make it a video game?
They made it an actual game. Yeah. And I think it winds up being really fun. As somebody who can kind of like low key enjoy a hidden object game if I'm really bored, finding this, I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm into this.
Yeah, I'm seeing one of the kind of puzzles coming up right now.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff, like collect items in order to unlock this, and it has like an overworld map and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you start off in one area of the map, and then eventually it'll be like, okay, well, we really need to interact with the golems up north or whatever, but we need the golems need certain items for their quarry, and so you can go and find like those items for them and bring them back. Or if you want to be gaining energy faster, you can sort of deviate from the story and find items to build huts in the actual village. And so then the huts will help you either gain energy faster or constantly produce like certain items that are consistently needed in the game. So it has lots of stuff to do. There is definitely a point where you're like, fuck, I'm running out of energy fast. And I know that that's the point where they want you to be like, yo, you want to just buy some gems? Because you can. That's fine if you want to. I mean, you don't have to, but you could. And I have yet to spend any money on this game.
I was going to say, does it sell gems on PC as well?
Well, I've only played it on PC.
Oh, and it sells gems anyway.
So it's a free-to-play game on PC.
Oh, okay.
And then if you want to like buy energy, like in-game energy, you can. But
never liked that idea on a PC game, personally.
Yeah. Well, I have yet to like feel like the game is robbing me, right? I'm just because it does give you lots of ways to gain more energy or expand the amount of energy that you get and things like that. So I'm not mad at it. I've actually really spent a decent amount of time on that game at this point. In the morning, I'm just like, oh, let's see what sort of shit I can find. Cool. All right. And then I walk away for the rest of the day and come back later.
There are some games where it's okay to do that. And then there are some games where like, oh, this game is engaging enough for me to keep playing, and now I'm hitting a wall where I can't progress because of some arbitrary timer. And at that point, I'm like, fuck this. I hate that. But it is interesting to see that this is a genre that is incredibly repetitive. The
static.
The hidden object genre it's basically been established as to what it is, and people just churn out games in it with different themes.
Yeah.
And part of me says that's cool because the people that are buying them, they want a specific kind of entertainment, and they're getting that every time, which is not a bad thing necessarily. But it's always interesting to see what you can do with a basic principle. Like, when people started turning match 3s into RPGs, Puzzle Quest and the stuff that spawned, that was kind of interesting. I just picked up a game actually for my mother, and I'm going to buy a copy myself because it actually looks pretty cool, called Solitaria, which is like this is a roguelike RPG with solitaire battle mechanics in it, and crafting and leveling up and shit. I'm like,
oh my god, my mom would fucking love that.
Yeah, my mother used to love Puzzle Quest, so I'm like, hey, she'll probably dig that too. So I got her a copy of that, and I'm like, it's interesting to see what you can do when you take a more casual mechanic or approach, and then you put it into something that's clearly got more core game elements in it, because sometimes it works out and it ends up being really enjoyable.
Yeah, there's actually another game that I played. It's called Emberstrike. And
why have I heard of that? For some reason,
I don't know.
I
think it came out the last like couple of days.
Okay.
But it's like a PvP battle game, but bejeweled. Like you like collect different monsters, and you can put them in different spots. Like I need my like 3rd spot striker, and I need my heavy damage and whatever. And you can have up to 5 monsters on your team at a time, and each monster needs different types of elements in order to do their abilities. And when you activate their abilities, it puts you into a mini game so that you can like attack things. So at first I thought it was a brawler. I thought it was like a brawly game, because all of the pictures were like, here's monsters and they fight each other. And I was like, okay.
I like the art in this. It's actually quite colorful.
This is another free-to-play game. That up to this point, I have had the game not even once say, hey, do you want to spend real money on anything? It hasn't even given me that option.
So it is available apparently on Steam as well. Is it on PC? Is it on mobile as well?
Oh, I don't know. I also played this on Steam.
Okay.
But
this looks like it might be my jam, actually.
This is another like super just casual game mechanics. The thing that I think is really cool about it is that you and the other person are working on the same board at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're like trying to create matches, but there's always the possibility that they can steal from you. So if you like try to make a match, but they made it quicker, it'll be like stolen. You're like, fuck, because you really need that element, but so do they.
Yeah.
You know? It's cool.
Yeah. That actually looks neat. And it doesn't appear to be a mobile game. I think it is just an early access PC game.
Yeah.
And it's a free-to-play one. So it does have actually very positive impressions. It looks pretty cool, actually. I might give that a try.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ashamed of liking Match 3 stuff. I'm not. And I never will be. I think it's a cool, satisfying mechanic that you can kind of fit into a lot of different genres if you're creative enough.
And it's just it's mindless in a way that I really require sometimes. Sometimes just all I want to play is a match 3 game because I know I can kind of space out and at the same time play this competently.
That's true.
Yeah.
You need some of those games.
You do. You absolutely do. I mean, that's kind of what Clash Royale is, I think, for a lot of us. But then again, Clash Royale is also super stressful if you treat it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clash Royale became my love and my hindrance all at once.
Crendor literally, for those of you who don't know, Crendor literally was playing a game right before we went live, and like 10 seconds before we went live was like, fuck, I hate this game.
I get so mad. I'm just like, it's like want to break my phone. Especially when like they just start laughing. That's the worst.
Oh my god. The BM in that game tilts me so bad.
Easily like the most infuriating BM like in any game I've experienced.
Why did they put it in? Like,
So I have an answer to this. So it's interesting that you brought this up because people have been asking for a squelch feature in that game for ages. Apparently, as I read quite recently, Supercell replied and they said that they're not doing that because they feel that like the BM and the emote spam is kind of core to the game and that they don't want to get rid of it.
Man. I was going to say that maybe they had done some research that suggested that people being able to interact in a way, even if it's infuriating, like incites you to want to prove them wrong on some weird level and like play more. Be like, no, I am good. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I imagine there is a psychological aspect to it. There's been some hilarious conspiracy theories about this idea, incidentally. Because I read a couple of Clash Royale forums, and it is the saltiest. Like, all of these forums are nothing but basically complaining about people that have spent money on the game. I was like, free to play. This game is designed to ruin everything. Why isn't this game appeal to the average player? I'm like, what is the average? What does that even mean? Like, I was like, I'm only winning 50% of the time. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's right though? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's got more stuff than I'm. Yeah, but that now he's higher trophies and you won't match with him again. So you're given like the trophy. It's weird. Like that game doesn't really have progression per se. Like in terms of its ranking. Like you're ranked about what level your cards are plus how good you are, and that's kind of it.
It's the whole like Dota or like any of those scales. They're just like, I'm in this league when I should be 3 leagues higher. This is stupid. It's like, no, you're where you should be.
You're where you should be. It's like the matchmaking is actually working as intended, but there was some hilarious conspiracy theories about it's like, well, they left it in there because that encourages people to buy more card backs because they're mad and they want to be better, so they buy more card backs, so they give more money. It's like, Supercell, they're just heartless, morally I heard the terms morally bankrupt used to describe the fact that they won't let people squelch emotes.
That's one of my favorite just phrases to throw around.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what does that mean?
It means that I'm morally bankrupt, and that's why I enjoy it so much.
I mean, I do emote spam back to other people after I get it done to me. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm
respectful until they aren't, and then I'm like, fuck you. I got 4 emotes. I'm going to use them in the most BM method possible.
Or you just do the word. You're just like, thanks.
Yeah.
Or good luck after you're winning. You're just like, good luck.
You see, that's advanced BM, because a lot of these like noob BMers, they just use the 4 face emotes, but actually you've also got text emotes too. So you combine the two to make advanced BM. If you want to be truly high level, that's how you do it.
It's true. Progress in the ways of the BM arts.
Absolutely. You can get people off balance with that. Sometimes you get them to rage quit. You get a free win. It's great.
Yeah.
It's good shit. What I want to know is what some... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait, who?
Crendor, you spaced out a little bit there. Hi.
I was just saying a stupid comment that really had no meaning behind it.
Well, I mean, that's not news to me.
That'll be everything you say, Crendor.
Sorry, Jesse isn't here to rag on. You've got to substitute in, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can move on.
We can, yes, if you wish.
Yeah.
So, speaking of like free-to-play games and stuff that you maybe wouldn't necessarily expect to play, I played the RuneScape card game.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it a RuneScape card game?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've actually been really curious about it.
Jesus Christ.
This is very unusual, is what this is. Like, it is not in any way like something like Hearthstone or anything like that. It's a very odd way of doing things that is thematically surprisingly cool, but also it takes a little bit of getting used to, because I think everyone is kind of used to playing games like Hearthstone and Magic now. So when you play this game and it's not in any way like that, but like, what? How the fuck does this work? So the way that it basically works is that you have a deck of cards, as you might expect, but instead of playing cards against your opponent, you play cards against yourself. And what you do is you create for your hero, who looks like he's made of cardboard and kind of like moves along like this, you create a mini adventure for your hero by putting down encounters and support cards and things like that. So you can put down a creature for you to fight. Not the enemy, you fight him. So like, okay.
So it's like a weird PvP Guild of Dungeoneering.
A bit, yeah. A bit. So you can put down, I think it's up to 4 cards per chapter, and the game has 5 chapters, which are all basically turns, and you encounter what you've put down, you kill it, you get whatever reward it gives you, and then you move on. And you can see, like, the 2 little characters on the screen right now encountering the cards that they've put down. So by killing the scorpion that the wizard just did, she did 3 damage to the other player. By killing that card, that guy just got some health. And you can also encounter cards that require you to spend gold, which you can earn from killing monsters. So you put monsters down so that you can kill them and earn gold, and then you spend that gold on support cards like, hey, this will give you a buff, or this will give you a weapon. And then once the turn's done, you move on to the next one, and once 5 chapters are done, there's a final fight where, assuming you're still alive, both heroes fight each other with the stats that they have, and you see who wins. And that's how the game plays out.
This looks super cool.
Yes.
It does look pretty cool.
This is what I was really surprised by. I had no idea what to expect. So I thought, oh god, RuneScape making a card game is going to be a fucking Hearthstone clone. Not in any way is that true. Not in any way.
It looks more Hands of Fate.
Yes. It's got some Hand of Fate. It's got some Guild of Dungeoneering that you mentioned. There's got a little bit of like Pathfinder Adventures in there. You know, this whole strange idea of it's PvE combined with PvP, where if you think about the theme, in RuneScape, your hero would be going, oh, kill this wolf, get some loot, kill this other thing, go back to town, buy an item. It's like that in card form, except you're doing it kind of as a race with the other player. And whoever managed to do it best, if you build a deck where you can gradually build the power of your character and so you can win the final fight, or maybe you can kill them before you get there by just having a bunch of cards that are like, hey, I kill this monster and then it does 5 damage to the enemy player and shit. It's a really interesting way of doing it, but it's hella confusing initially, because it's such a radically different way of doing things that you're like, this makes no sense initially. What I will say about it is that you've got to get out of the idea of like Hearthstone where you play a card and then the person reacts to it. It doesn't work that way, because you can lay down 4 cards and your opponent can lay down 4 cards. You have no idea what your opponent's going to lay down, but you do, of course, know what your opponent played last chapter. So like, oh, okay, so I've been hitting him a bunch. He's probably going to put down some cards to give him some healing or some armor or counter what I'm doing. It's a bit strange, and I feel like almost like there's maybe a lack of interactivity there. But I still think it's a really interesting and original idea. And it's actually pretty fun to play, too. And I like the fact that the turns are limited. So there's only 5 turns ever in one game. So it kind of time limits how long the game can really go on for.
Right.
So yeah, I know nothing about RuneScape. Like, not at all. Like, I have no idea. But what I played of it so far, I played a couple of hours of it. I'm actually kind of enjoying it so far. It seems like there's some really interesting ideas in it.
So, is this game out, or is it...
Yep, free to play on Steam. You can play it right now.
What?
It's free to play?
Yeah, it's free.
Do you just buy packs? Is that how they make money?
Yeah. I mean, it's got a bunch of single-player stuff. They've got, I don't know what it is, but they've got solo play against different levels of AI, so you can get stuff that way. And there's also a dungeoneering mode at, like, level 15. I don't know what that is, though. I don't know if it's, like, a drafting mode or something like that, but... I don't know. So far, I've been enjoying it. I've just been mostly playing against the AI and trying to figure out, like, what would be a deck that works. Because you go into the game and you're like, this is strange. I have no idea what I'm doing deck building-wise. And then you start figuring out, okay, well, maybe I need to... What about if I have a deck that draws a lot of cards and then plays a card based on my hand size that does damage to the opponent, you know? That's a simple kind of combo. And then start to build it around that. You can make a pirate deck in that game. I noticed there's a lot of pirate cards, where you add, like, cannonballs to your deck, and then every time you play a cannonball, you do all sorts of other shit. It's like, so it's interesting. This is not what I expected. So I'm actually digging it quite a lot so far.
This looks super cool. I actually really want
Neat idea.
Really
you should give it a try. Give it a try. Yeah, it's just good to see a CCG that's not just aping Hearthstone, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Something completely different.
RuneScape.
It's called Chronicle Runescape Legends, and it's on Steam, and it's free.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know how the business model is. I mean, I bought... They had a starter pack, which was like $7. It's like, this is enough currency for 12 packs. I'm like, okay. I guess I'll get that and see where I go from there.
Yeah.
And you can obviously earn stuff in-game, and as you level up, you also get cards like Hearthstone, where it's like, you get all of the sort of basic mage cards as you level up and stuff. So, I don't know how scammy it'll end up being. Who knows? But so far, I've actually had a good amount of time with it. And it's really interesting. Too. Yeah, it has. So, that's neat. Let's go to a break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the games that we've been playing this week. Our sponsor for this week is, of course, squarespace.com/cooptional. Get 10% off your first order, squarespace.com/cooptional. I have a brand new ad. I'm going to give credit to Jen for this. She came up with the idea for it. As I had no ideas. I gotta be honest. I'm like, fuck. I've done everything. There's no other ad that can possibly exist. Turns out, no. We've came up with another one. It's all about roasting Jesse Cox. We're going to do that. And when we come back after the break, as we make money from his misery, we'll bring you some more games. You're watching the Crushful Podcast. Do not go anywhere.
That's my life.
You don't have one of those.
What?
John?
Yes?
Where's Jesse?
Well, if I know. Do I look like his babysitter?
Isn't that basically what you've been doing for the last 5 years?
That's besides the point. I have absolutely no idea.
He hasn't shown up to the show in weeks. He has sponsor obligations. You can't just have a pillar of the show disappear for weeks on end like that.
Is it really fair to call him a pillar? Pillars are reliable, strong, supportive things. He's more, I don't know, Velcro.
Sticky, noisy, and fond of hooking?
Sticky. Especially sticky. Well, honestly, I have no idea.
We need him back, otherwise we're going to default on these contracts. You have to do something about this.
Well, I could use traditional forms of communication, such as email, Skype, or text. Or alternatively, we could assume the worst and put out a missing persons report on a website we created using Squarespace.
Isn't that unnecessarily complicated and an incredibly contrived use of our sponsor service?
Contrived? Absolutely. Complicated? No way. Squarespace lets you build a website for whatever you'd like with absolutely no experience required. What you see is what you get, with incredibly powerful yet simple to use design tools and integrated functionality such as e-commerce that can get you up and running in just minutes. Alright, let's put this thing together. So, first things first, we head over to squarespace.com/cooptional and get 10% off our first order. The less money I have to spend looking for Jesse, the better. Okay, secondly, we need to fill in some details. Height, 6'2". Weight, plenty. Eyes, dead. Last seen, England turning his nose up at a carvery dinner like the heathen Yankee scum that he is. Personality traits, loud, obnoxious, will promote anything for money, never shows up to shows on time. phobias. Final Fantasy XIII, a regular work schedule, pomegranates, sharks, and large mug collections. Immediate family, avoiding him wherever possible. Reward. Well, I mean, we kind of need him, but we don't want to spend a lot of money. So, I guess 10% off your first order at squarespace.com/cooptional. That sounds totally fair. All right, there we go. And done.
Don't you need a photo as well?
I had Chris work up this artist's impression.
Surprisingly lifelike.
I thought so. Squarespace, create a website for whatever ridiculous reason you'd like. Galleries, portfolios, resumes, blogs, storefronts, international manhunts. Let's be honest, you're nothing without a website. Force the world to acknowledge your existence with an awesome-looking website from squarespace.com/cooptional. Squarespace, you should stay at least 10 feet away from the Cox at all times. If you see the Cox, do not approach him. Report him immediately to your local internet police. The Cox may be dangerous. The Cox may be hungry. The Cox may be both of those things, in which case run for your life and don't look back. Also, get a damn website on Squarespace. You should. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast.
We're looking up Overwatch stats.
Yeah. My Junkrat is
There's a
just
website called
falling so bad.
masteroverwatch.com where you can see your ranking in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that existed. In a few
Yeah,
seconds it won't be after everyone crashes it, but...
You can see your win-loss ratio. You can see all of your stats averages per game, your best and your worst.
Seriously.
Yeah. And then
I got a 2.34 KD on
your
Anzo.
ranking in the world.
Dude, that's a really good KD, Crendor.
Yeah.
My
On
KD
Hanzo?
with,
Well, it's Hanzo. I mean, you don't really have to do anything other than sort of aim towards the sky and click a bit.
What's
my
your KD
KD
with
with,
Hanzo?
Roadhog is pretty great.
Reaper.
What?
What?
I like how just kind of completely ignored him. That was great.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I got a 3.22 KD on Junkrat.
I actually don't know what my battle tag is, so I can't
Actually
look it
better
up.
than mine.
What is my battle tag?
I feel like changing my shit. What's that called? You're like cursor point. What's that called?
The
in a
crosshair.
first-person shooter?
Crosshair.
Crosshair.
Yeah, that's there.
Changing my crosshair has helped me aim like a lot. Because I don't think Sam or I even knew that you could change the crosshair until we were talking with JP about it, because JP changed his to hot pink and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with your crosshair? and he was like, oh yeah, I changed it because like this is what I'm used to. And I was playing on stream and chat was like, you should try changing it to green. So I tried changing it to green and I feel like I'm so much more aware of where I'm aiming now.
Whoa.
No, there are all kinds of options for changing your crosshair in Overwatch.
I haven't fucked with that yet. Probably would be a good idea. I'm looking on another site because the rest of you just crashed the site, so...
Of course.
Oops, whoops.
Oops.
Apparently there's several of these sites that can pull this data. I wonder where they get... Blizzard must have an API for this.
Probably.
Because otherwise, how would they pull this data?
You can link your Battle.net account to the site, so I guess they're working in partnership with them.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Everybody's like, we did it, we crashed it, yeah!
Pretty much, yeah. I can't get any of my data at all. So, like, all right. I'm probably not missing anything.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't really keep track of my stats too much in that game.
Nice.
I almost only play solo. We played a couple of rounds yesterday, and that went pretty well, until Cry joined us and ruined everything.
Typical.
Typical Cry.
Typical.
What annoys me about that game, I think, is that you want to play with a group of your friends, but if you play a full team, you're going to be matched up against actual teams that know what they're doing, and then you just get fucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that's the tale as old as time in this game now, is that I'm playing with one other friend. We're having such a good time. I'm playing with two other friends. We're having such a good time. And then the second a fourth person joins, I don't know what happens. Like once you have 4 or more people, suddenly it's like, well, you just got fucked. So
You just look up and you're against a team of rank 80s and you're just like, oh.
yeah, like, what happened?
Yeah.
So apparently my KDA with Torbjorn is 12.
Oh,
God
wow.
damn it.
I don't even like playing him. He's boring as shit.
He's so
It is
boring. Yeah.
I like how we weren't going to discuss Overwatch, and then I just fucking destroyed it.
You were gonna. It was gonna happen anyway. One of you was
We were going
bastards
to.
was
We
gonna
just
bring
didn't
it
want to
up.
start off with it, right? I think
No,
that was-
because I think it's massively over discussed, and there's not even a huge amount we can talk about it. 'Cause we talked about all this shit months ago. Because I mean, really, the game hasn't actually changed at all.
Yeah.
that's what's weird, I think, about the beta is that they took off competitive mode,
Yeah.
like the ranked mode. I feel like that's the biggest thing that they've done to show that they're even taking critique into account is like, oh, there was a lot of critique for this competitive mode. Let's take it out and work on it a bit. But for the most part, everything's been the same for like the whole beta. They've just added in new stuff.
I actually think the like play of the game has gotten worse.
Yeah.
Really?
Like now there's like plays of the game. It's like it shows like a person dead, and then they come back alive and kill like one person. I'm like, wait, what?
Play the game.
I have noticed that happen a couple of times where it's like, I shot one dude and then I like shot one other dude.
Yeah. And it's like, I know
okay.
one of them was like Mercy rezzing people, and then it like she started the res and it just cut it off. I was like, you cut off the play. You cut it off. It must be some Blizzard spaghetti code or some shit.
With
You guys-
Mercies, sorry.
Come on, honey.
I was gonna say with Mercies too, if it's I've seen a play of the game with a Mercy where she rezzed one person. And I was like, play the game. And I was like, really?
Well, like maybe they were like saving the point at like a crucial moment or something.
But it's
Maybe.
like that's not clear, whether
Yeah.
or not it's you did something really good for the objective versus you saved a lot of people or you killed a lot of people. It's not always clear like why they got it.
I think that's what like I don't remember them doing that in the beta, so I think they tried to add that into the current game, and that's what messed it up.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah, because
moment,
Mercy
like,
never used to get
support.
it for obvious reasons. 'Cause it
Yeah.
was always... But ultimately, you also still can't have an incredible play every single match. So people are like, oh, Bastion got it for killing 5 people. Yeah, he killed 5 people. That's a pretty big deal. Like, but it was Bastion, and Bastion doesn't require as much skill as everybody else. I mean, dude, it's an automated play of the game system. It's not a fucking 10-point panel of international judges, you know?
The best bit is that like you get your own play of the game and it goes into your highlights folder, and then no one just watches their own play of the game. You could just go and watch your own personal play of the game and be satisfied, but they're not.
Yeah.
Someone else saw it.
Well, people got to find a way to be salty about everything, you know?
Have you guys watched any competitive Overwatch?
I watched a bit. It's
little
getting a
bit.
bit easier to watch, but it's still a nightmare without like proper third-person cameras and the kind of things that CS:GO has to make it much easier to watch with the kind of player health outlines and stuff. Like none of that's there, and I feel like until all of that stuff is there, it's going to be difficult to really push the competitive scene. It is getting. I was surprised by how much viewership it's getting on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's doing.
Guys, it is on both Twitch and YouTube. It's getting pretty good numbers.
Yeah, because strangely enough, when we were playing in the beta, no one gave a fuck. Like, but as it turns out, people want to play a lot of Overwatch. They also want to watch a lot of Overwatch as well.
I'm like in the camp of they need to take measures to prevent hero stacking because it's making competitive for me shit. Like I am not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like I watched yesterday, and all the games were the meta now is to have 2 or 3 McCrees in a team. So you have a healer, a tank, and then 2 or 3 McCrees
Yeah.
because he's so good. And then and then occasionally people would run 6 tracers. This is like in competitive, like with like $25,000 on the line, and they're running either 3 McCrees or 6 tracers, and you're like, huh? 21 heroes, and they're running 6 tracers or 3 McCrees. It's too much. Like 2 max, like maybe even 1. I don't know.
I mean, I imagine they're going to have to figure out what a format is, you know? And these tournaments are going to start to enforce shit like, no, you can't have more than 1 of this or more than 2 of this.
Yeah, you got to, because it's reaching a point where like the only way you can beat a hero stack is to counter that hero stack with another hero stack.
Yeah.
Like if there's like multiple McCrees, you have to have multiple of something that stops McCree. Otherwise it doesn't work. So like the only way to beat stacking is to stack more. So it's just like, huh? It like doesn't, it kind of kills it for me.
That was a little silly.
Yeah.
It
I
does
think Kappa
make,
2 would be good. I wouldn't limit it to 1, but I'd definitely limit it to 2.
Yeah.
I think 2 is good, but sometimes it gets a little bit out of control.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I don't want to talk too much about
changing.
balance because I feel like no one is like good enough to really talk balance. Like
Yeah,
the
for
vast
sure.
majority, outside of like the pro guys, and even the pros haven't been playing that long. You know, they've had the beta experience, but
That's
we
what I was
don't
gonna
really know how things are going to play out.
And the I don't know. I always feel so dumb talking about the meta, but like it's you know, it's still being formed right now.
Yeah. Just from my enjoyment watching, like I don't want to see 3 McCrees against 3 McCrees. Like I like Overwatch for the diversity it has. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
We'll
I agree
We'll
on
see
that.
how it turns out. Someone made a great point in the chat actually about the increase in viewership, that it's not actually that easy a game to watch, and as a result, if you've played it, it makes it a lot easier to watch. Whereas something like Hearthstone was popular for viewership, very popular in its beta, and continued to be popular. And now it's like, all right, well, Overwatch was not popular to watch during the beta, but now it's popular to watch because people have the game on hand, so they kind of understand what's going on, and they have a better viewer experience.
I think it's not only that, it's also I'm really enjoying this game and I want to see streamers that I like enjoying the game too. So what I've noticed is a lot of people, if I'm playing Overwatch, will be like, I'm also playing Overwatch and I have you. Like I'm watching you, but I'm also playing the game.
Yes.
Like there's kind of like a companionship aspect to it now that it's available to everybody.
Almost works like that with sports, where it's like people are into a certain sport because they play it a lot, so they want to watch it as well. Or it's like, I play basketball, so I like watching basketball too. And it's like that type of thing.
Yeah.
I have just really loved watching people play the games though that are just bullshit. They're just like, look at my really good play of the game, guys.
And they do the emote after.
Yeah.
We were playing I was playing the arcade mode with Crendor, and 75% reduced cooldowns.
Yeah.
And so we would just stack Reinhardt and just shoulder charge. It's like constantly off cooldowns. So it's just we're just shoulder charging everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's so fun.
On the King of the Hill map, I can't remember which one it is, what it's called, but it's the one where there's like the base in the center and then 2 staircases, and then the rest is just open air, right? I saw a play of the game that was awesome that was listed as somebody please nerf Lucio. And it was all Reinhardts with their shields up, like all back to back. And then Lucio just came in and did his blast out and knocks them all off the sides at the same time. It was really funny. Yes. Moments like that are really funny when I'm not playing it. If I was playing it, I'd be like, this is so stupid. Is it Ilios? I thought it was Nepal. I don't know.
I think. Oh yeah, I like Ilios more. I think
Yeah.
Nepal's kind of. I don't know. Actually, King of the Hill maps in general, I don't really like. I prefer the like pushing the cart.
They've grown on me. I don't know. I've started just like accepting them as part of the rotation of games that I'm gonna play. So, but every single time I'm on that map, I either play on a King of the Hill map. I'm either playing Lucio or I'm playing Junkrat, because they're both just really good for capture the point maps.
Yeah.
I'm not the world's biggest fan of any of the game modes. I'm gonna be honest. Like that, there's just like a distinct lack of originality in any of them.
Yeah.
And it would be really nice to see them do something a bit different. As to what, I couldn't really say, but it's as boring a set of game modes as you can get in a game. Like they didn't even try to make anything interesting about it. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, because let's be honest, like the game is defined not by the mode but by the heroes. You know, that's what makes each game different. But simultaneously, I would have just liked to see something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more innovative
I
in that regard.
remember when we first got in the beta and I said this, and Jesse like lost his mind being like, look, these game modes are tried and true, tested game modes, and we know that they work. And if you want to just like fuck up the balance of the game, sure, do something weird. And I was like, whoa. And it feels good. It feels good now to see lots of people being like, I would love to see some, some more innovative game modes. I'm like, thank you.
I honestly feel like the reason they're holding out on any new maps is because they're saving them for another game mode.
Maybe.
Because it seems to be like 3 is kind of like you got 6 payload or whatever, then you got 3 cap. Like 3 kind of seems like the number for a specific game type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It almost suffers from the MMORPG syndrome of like, this works, so we'll do it. But it's like another game does it better. And they're like, but we also have a questing system that allows you to like embrace the environment and really just experience questing. Like it's like all they did is like remove the little like quest NPC guy and it just pops up in the zone like you have a quest. It's like the same type of thing. I feel like that's what they would do with game modes. Like it's not capture the flag, it's capture the glowy orb that zaps you every once. Like they're just gonna take it and make it like slightly different, but not really different.
A lot of it, I think, comes down to the fact that I don't think complex game modes do very well.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of games that are based on complex game modes not really working out, and obviously the most recent example kind of being Battleborn. It's got some more complex game modes, it's got some more interesting game modes that aren't done very often, and for people like us, I think, who've played a shitload of multiplayer games and want something different, that's great. But for your average kind of Joe gamer, they don't want a game mode that's intimidating, that they have to pay attention to a lot of different things, that it's hard to learn. Mm-hmm. They just want to be able to get in and feel like they've quickly mastered the game mode, and then they can go on to mastering the characters. Because it's almost like a double difficulty wall. You've got to get over the fact that the mode is tricky, but also the fact that the character you're playing is tricky, and that can make it a bit intimidating to some people, maybe.
Yeah. Shit, dude.
Need more Zaya skins.
Oh, yeah, Battleborn. That was a game.
So they need more Zaya skins?
Need more Zaya skins, though. Yeah.
Their new hero is out or has been announced. Alani.
Battleborn?
He's out. Yeah, they had a 40% off sale already on that game. So it's evidently not doing brilliantly. It's still doing well enough to get a game. I think there's an interesting idea about games that if they don't have hundreds of thousands of concurrent players, then it's like that game's dead. It's dead. it's not dead. Like you can get a game real easy. Like this.
It's fine right now.
Yeah, it's all right. It's dead. There's thousands of people playing. That's enough to get games. There's no problem.
World of Warcraft has 5 million people. It's dead.
Dead! I used to have 10 million. Dead! Half of me says it's reasonable to be a little bit wary of a game that has a falling population, because it's like, well, I'm buying into something that may not be around for that much longer, but
or
simultaneously...
might not have the support that I want.
Yeah. But simultaneously, though, it's like they have a clear content plan for that game, and they have a clear development plan for it. And...
yeah, they have five
content packs,
heroes that are going to be coming out over time and stuff. They've already released what the second one looks like. I can't remember his name, but he's like a snake dude in sneakers. So
yeah,
Battleborn is like okay. I don't know. It's kind of like a game I'd like playing with a few other people, like, but I could play a lot of games with friends. Like it's
like it's like not that high on the play with friends list.
Yeah.
It's only on the play with friends list. It's not on the play list.
Yeah.
So there has to be like some kind of weird event happen where like every game you like is down. Or
it's the one that it's the rebound game. It's the one you settle for at the end of the night after being rejected too many times.
That's what it's become for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also I don't understand how they made such a mistake with the effects in that game.
They still haven't fixed that.
I know.
And literally everyone has been telling them for months. It's like, this is
when they keep saying they're
hard
going
to
watch.
watch.
Tweeted me saying they were going to fix it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, will it be a little bit too late?
Yeah.
There's always the possibility for revivals in games like this, but simultaneously, there can be a very prevailing attitude amongst the more vocal side of gamers, on forums and subreddits and things like that, where they'll become, like, it's cool to say that this game is dead, or this game is, like, it's fucked beyond belief. It was a recent thing with Payday 2, where they've removed all the microtransactions, apparently.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've covered this topic before, but a bunch of people responded to that by saying too little, too late. I was like, there's no such thing as that in 2016 for video games.
Yeah.
This is not the console era where a game comes out on a cartridge and it's fucked.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You can't do anything about that. No, a game can totally fix itself. Isn't that the point of patches? Isn't it?
Well, and that's why a couple of weeks back when we were talking about the new way that Steam does reviews, we were like, thank
it's
God,
valuable. Yeah.
Because that's so valuable now with the way that games work. Like the way that people felt about a game when it first came out could be completely different to how people feel about a game right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stopping, like, even if you don't get a community revival, a lot of people seem to vastly overestimate the number of people you actually need to play a game like this. People are like, Payday 2, dead! It's got 10,000 concurrent players. It's like, yeah, but at one point it had 81,000! It's dead! It's like, that was that was a free weekend.
Your angry gamer voice is maybe my favorite thing I've ever heard.
It's my new kind of pet peeve. It's been my pet peeve for a while that people, like, they'll just write a game off completely if it doesn't have 5 billion players currently playing right now. It's like, did I still play Awesome Nauts? You know how many, like, concurrents Awesome Nauts has? 581. It's dead! No, it's not! It's easy to find a game! You only need 6 people to play that game, and you're one of them! 600 people online's enough! It's not like you can't find a game. You can still play! Mm-hmm. What does it matter to me if there's 5 million people playing Overwatch? I'm only going to be matched with 9 of them every time. I don't give a fuck with so many people.
TB.
It's dead.
It's dead. They're gonna stop updating it. They're gonna take down the servers. It's dead. It's over.
I mean, it's like Cube World.
Cube World was never alive. Let's be honest. It's like, half of me does understand the concern, especially when you're buying into a game that's either primarily or completely multiplayer, right? I get it. You don't want to spend money on something that you're not going to be able to play properly later on. But that's every game ever, for one thing, when it comes to multiplayer mode. Eventually, there's either going to be nobody to play with or there's going to be no servers. Eventually. Games have a bit of a shelf life. Usually it's quite long. Usually it's a pretty damn long shelf life, but they have one nonetheless. But secondly, the idea that the only game that people will ever buy into is one that's already super mega huge popular, that people are never willing to take even the slightest risk.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because people are like, oh, I'm not going to buy a copy of this game because there aren't enough players. Well, there's not enough players because you're not buying the game. Like, come play. Not to mention the fact that people, again, will write off a game and they'll never come back to it and say, well, that game's dead now. There's no way for it to ever come back. Like, sure there is.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Cube World, Crendor, because the devs been doing shitloads of content patch updates, and they're gonna bring out this huge patch, and I'm gonna play it again. I guarantee everyone plays it again.
I mean, I own it.
He disappeared for the longest time, and then started coming back out of nowhere, and was like, "Here's what I've been working on." I think you're right, Sam. I think that people are gonna be like,
so entitled. Like, he made them a game. He sold it, and then he was like, cool, I'm going to just fucking chill for 2 years because I spent 5 years making this game. And I was like, where's our fucking content? It's like, there was never any content promised.
You bought a paid alpha. This is your fault. It really is. If you're going to buy a game in such an incomplete state, don't fucking complain when it's incomplete.
Dude, it was like, even though it's incomplete, I put 40 hours in that game and had a blast. And there was enough content for 40 hours of playing that game.
But dude, I paid $15 for this game. I expect 500 hours of gameplay.
I want to never be bored ever if I spent any amount of money. And fuck you, you feel differently.
You must develop this game for all time. But simultaneously, I'm not willing to support your game if you fix it later and then, as a result, it's like, oh, maybe you should give it another try. No, it's dead. We killed it a year ago. We're never coming back. That annoys me a lot because doesn't that just encourage devs just to abandon games? It's like, oh, well, okay, we released the game. We made some mistakes. We're going to fix it. We've got a new content patch. All right, cool. All the problems are fixed now. It's like, too little, too late. Not coming back. Or not buying now. It's like, okay, well, why did we bother then?
Yeah.
Why don't we just abandon our games and go on the next one then? Because you fuckers will pre-order and buy it anyway. So at least we get your money then.
Rust got super revamped. Now it's pretty popular.
Now it's great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah, but I would like people just to take into account that games can change now, and games can be fixed, and games can be updated, and as a result, maybe we shouldn't be calling, games like that dead, or say things like too little too late. I think that's a really counterproductive attitude from people.
Diablo 3 is another good example.
Yeah, that game's way better than it was on launch.
Yeah.
Did people write that off? Well, I assume some people did. I assume they did. And you know what? That's their, they're bad, because they are the ones who didn't benefit from the fact that Blizzard did go back and make that game a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the only time that I would say, like, man, guys, if only you had nailed this on the first try, is if somebody makes a game and then they kind of bork it, and then another company goes, oh, we know how to make this correctly. And then, they make their version of that game. Make a better product before the first company can.
Yeah, totally.
Theirs, and that's definitely also a very real problem that can happen. But I don't think that saying, I'm not even gonna bother trying your game again, even though I bought it and got this update for free. It's like, why not? Just acknowledge that they put in the work and just try it out. I don't know. Maybe it's great.
DayZ's new patch came out yesterday, I think, on stable, or is about to come out on stable, and it just changes the game. Like, everyone who's hated DayZ for years is like, all right, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I have 120 FPS. This patch has changed everyone's perception of this game overnight.
What else did they do? So they made the frame rate and everything work. But, what else?
Oh, I don't really know. They've just they took the frame rate used to be fucking 10, and now it's 120. And so just that alone has changed everyone's experience playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't get lag when shooting other people, that kind of stuff. Everyone's just enjoying it way more. I'm watching streams and they're there's 5,000 people watching a DayZ stream, and that hasn't happened in 6 months because of this one patch. So
yeah. And it's good to see that can happen. So I think the impression that you can get from forums and things like that is that people are willing to write a game off, and then just regardless of what it does, they're never going to forgive it for some kind of perceived transgression. And I hate that attitude. I really do.
You made a game that didn't suit my sensibility, and I feel wronged.
Yeah, and I think people get spiteful about it too. I think they get very vindictive. If a game comes out and someone really hates it and they were anticipating it or whatever, they will become a guy that is doing the internet equivalent of standing outside with a sign that said, "This game ate my baby." And it comes out day after day, week after week. They become the anti-evangelists. They will not shut up about how this game wronged them or whatever.
Make pamphlets.
Pretty much. They become preachers. They become zealots about how much they've been wronged by this product. And it sucks when a game doesn't turn out to be what you want. I get that. But at that point, isn't it more productive to go play something else? And if the game happens to fix itself, come on back and try it again.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's not write things off so easily. I think you end up with a lot of games that could have ended up being great falling by the wayside because of that attitude. And I know it's a competition for everybody's limited time and money, and there's so many games coming out now that it's understandable that people were just you know what, I don't give a fuck about this game anymore. You've had your chance. I'm done. But at that point, don't turn around and say, well, why aren't there any good games out? It's there is. This one fixed itself 2 years ago. Why don't you go play that? No. Too little, too late. It's no, it's better now. Come play. Please.
Come on, man.
Yeah. They fixed it. It must suck for a developer to feel so we did everything you asked for, and then people nah. That must feel terrible.
I think you guys are right, too. Diablo 3 is such a good example of that. Because even now, when all of us were streaming it, they're on, season 6? When all of us were streaming it, people would be like, is this game not shit anymore? It's it's been pretty good for a while now.
Couple of years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's just an inundation of games that sometimes people are I only have so much time for so many games. I found one that I like. So that one over there gave me a bad impression at the start, and I'm moving on, right? There's new grass over here.
You do only get one launch, you know?
Yeah.
That is true. And people should be very careful to make sure their launch goes well. But I think we are in an era where the launch doesn't have to determine how good the game is. And as a result, I don't think there's anything wrong with going back to a game that didn't launch very well a few years later and finding out actually it's a lot better now.
Yeah.
It's a good way to game, too. Saves you a lot of money, because those games are usually a lot cheaper by then.
I think, okay, so another game that I played is Shopkeep.
Yeah.
That game. It's I wanted to try it out because it looked like kind of a weird first-person version of Racketeer.
Yes. Tell me about that game, because I could not figure out for the life of me what the fuck that is.
So, all of the reviews, a lot of the reviews that are positive are when it was in early access. It's come out of early access now, so I gave it a try. And I honestly think it should have stayed in early access a little bit longer because the tutorial is, I'm so sorry, devs. The tutorial is garbage. Like, I tried playing this game and spent the first hour so confused. Just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, it tries to explain to you what to do, but in a way that is so difficult to deconstruct, right? The way that the game works is you're first person, you have your shop, you have your like home and you have your shop, and you can swap between the two whenever you want. You can order in items to sell, and you have to like decorate your shop and put things up for people to buy, and you can expand your shop, and eventually you can go on adventures and things. So you have like 4 different modes. You have your I'm the shopkeeper right now mode. You have your I need to clean or fix things mode, which is like you have a broom so that you can clean your shop, and you have a hammer so that you can fix things that are in your shop because eventually they have wear and tear. Your third mode is placing items. So like putting down tables and like things to put your items on for display. And then your fourth mode is your battle mode, and you have like a sword and you have magic. So I'm going to be real with you. I spent half an hour in that game trying to figure out how to change the price of an item. And when you go into the tutorial, it's like, you should change the price of your item so you make a profit. And I was like, thanks. Yes, I know. But like nowhere in the tutorial does it explain to you how to do things. It's just like, hey, here's some like think about this strategy, right? Like, oh, you should try doing this. And I'm like, no, I understand. I would love to do that if I could fucking figure out how to do that. And a lot of the reviews are saying, man, this game gets very addictive once you figure it out. Like, once you figure out how to play, it becomes very addictive, very, very fun. And I can see that potential there. I like the way that it looks. I like the idea of just having a blank canvas and being like, decorate your shop however you want, put shit everywhere, hawk up the price. It's got the same Racketeer mechanic of being like, okay, so what sort of items do people want right now? What's in high demand? You know, thinking about that sort of a thing. But holy shit, the tutorial is bad. It's garbage. Like, I can't figure out how to do things very easily at all. And so it seems like the curve for getting into the game and actually being able to play it is really, it's steep. So that's a little unfortunate. If they revamped the tutorial and made it so that it was much more clear and it actually explained the game to you, I think that it would be great.
Right.
But right now, I spent so long being like, how the fuck do I change the price? Guess what? I never figured it out. So
you think that would be a pretty important feature to teach you?
It is. I would buy a health potion for $10 and I would put it out there. It would be like, here, plop it on the thing. I'd plop it on the thing. That was very obvious. They made that very, very clear. And then I'd be like, great, somebody bought it for 10, so I made no profit. I couldn't figure it out. So Yeah, I would love it if they would change the tutorial of that game, but it seems like that must have been feedback they got, right? They were in early access for enough time that must have been somebody must have been like, your tutorial is garbage, you should really revamp this. Like, I don't know. It seems like a game that came out of early access too early.
That sounds like it'd be like a tycoon game.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And there's been a few games that have tried that. None of them have done a great job, I'd say Racketeer is a great game, but simultaneously, half of that game is actually RPG dungeon crawling, it's not actually the shop management element of it.
Totally. I just feel like, much like with the No Man's Sky whining. Well,
we're going to get onto that in the news, but we could talk about it now if you like. It's
fine. Just touching on it briefly so that everybody can wait with bated breath for the news section of this show.
It's a teaser, is what it is.
It's a teaser, yes. I would much rather wait for a game to be good than sit around wasting my time complaining about it taking forever to come out and be officially released,
I think half of the problem with that, though, is the early access model. That once you put it out there and people get a taste, they really want more. And it's hard to resist. I deliberately go out of my way not to play most of these early access games for stuff that looks really cool, because I think I'll burn out on it. And I often do. It was Darkest Dungeon. I stopped myself at, 10 hours into the early access build. Because I'm like, this game's going to be great when it's done. I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop now, because this is gonna ruin my enjoyment of it once it comes out. Yeah. I'm having a lesser experience. So I think early access as a model is fatally flawed for the most part, outside of maybe competitive multiplayer games. Mm-hmm. I think it's generally a bad idea.
It's either really easy for people to get burned out on a game before it has its official launch, or it's really easy for a game to just sit in early access forever.
Yeah, very true. And it definitely looks like Shopkeeper is one of those games that say, well, when do we release it? I don't know. I guess we'll at some point. Because ultimately, when you hit that release button, that's when you get your front page spot most of the time on Steam. So, they want to sell a bunch more copies. I imagine they did. If we look up Shopkeep on Steam charts, there was probably a spike when it launched. Surprisingly enough, not a huge one, but there was a little bit of one. Yeah, I see the spike right there. Not a big one. It's not especially popular.
Kind of the opposite to you guys. I play a lot of early access, but
yeah,
that is people get to see it before they pay money for it.
Yeah.
The question is in what state, though, because I think if you want to, let's take Killing Floor 2 as an example. That's a game that once it's done, completely done, it's probably going to be fucking phenomenal. And the early access build was a really great start. But simultaneously, people see a very limited game with not that many classes, not that many abilities, not that many guns, not that many maps, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, yeah, that might be great, but by the time it actually comes out, have you managed to maintain people's interests? Will they even remember? Is it good to see it in that state?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I think certain genres do better in early access, like the survival genre is pretty
genre works really well.
That's it works really well. But
none of them are ever going to be finished. Spoiler, not a single one of them.
Ark's going to be finished.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I think it's pretty much nearly done.
They've been Ark, I feel like out of all of them, has been consistently adding more and more and more and more cool stuff over time.
Ark's pretty consistent, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like that's probably the best genre for early access, and then everything else is kind of riskier.
Yeah. So what benefit did Killing Floor 2 have going into early access? Because that version is literally just a lesser version of what the final thing will be. There's no benefit. You're buying into an incomplete product, and I just feel like it wears down people's enthusiasm for the final product.
Yeah.
But I understand why they do it, They need money for development. That's why the business model exists. It's not a pro-consumer business model, folks. A pro tip, it's not designed for you. It's not good for you. It's good for them.
Yeah.
They get to get an flow of income while they're building the game. That's a good thing for them, but not so much for you.
I mean, it's a payment method that's existed for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a couple of different artist friends who are putting out art books, and people would buy the book before it had come out to like help them publish it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's an idea that's existed before, but it's still like you don't know what you're gonna wind up getting necessarily. You're buying into something that isn't finished.
I mean, I think the question with like that model is, do those people get to see the book before it's done? Because if not, then I think with early access games, you're ruining the experience for yourself. I think a lot of the time, by buying into it way too early. And I was just like, well, that's great. You get to play early, you get a taste of it. Yeah, but maybe it's too old school an attitude, but I like the idea of buying a game on launch, it being done, and it presenting everything that it was intended to present, and experiencing the whole lot at once.
Mm-hmm. I feel like not to go back to Overwatch, but just because it's on topic, I feel like the whole conversation of Overwatch being a game that you buy and you just get everything versus a free-to-play game where you have to buy aspects of it. I feel like that's been an argument between two different generations of gamers that can't really see eye to eye at this point. Like there's so many people who have just grown up with this like kind of free to play weird microtransaction model, and they're like totally cool with it. And then there's the rest of us who are like, I would prefer to just like buy a game and have it be done and then play it.
And get all the things.
I get everything. Yeah.
Well, we're growing up with a generation of people that can't play a game unless it has a giant progression system in it. So it's like, well, what's the point in playing it if you don't get a thing at the end? How about you play it to play it? Isn't the whole point to have fun, to enjoy yourself?
Your whiny gamer personality is maybe my favorite personality.
Definitely is.
But they've also been kind of groomed into that, right? Because companies sat around for years saying, okay, how do we make it so that people continue to play our game? Progression systems. And now they're so normalized that everybody wants kind of like you did it, now try again so that you get this other cool thing, and then do more so you get this other cool thing.
I feel like League of Legends acted as the catalyst for like the free-to-play model to really like blossom, because that was the first like huge success of people being like, oh shit, this is a free game, and yet they're making like hundreds from every person because they're just buying shit. And that was like, and I feel like that was the biggest. Certainly
for core, I mean, free to play had been a big thing for shit like Farmville for ages, but for core games, yeah, free to play definitely set that up. But it was also, there's the premium model of unlocks as well. Someone in the chat who I want to slap around for being so stupid is like, oh, really? You get everything in the box? So those like $50 cosmetic unlock boxes, they're not real, right? God, you are dumb. God, you are stupid. You are dumb. So dumb. You realize, like, we've been doing progression, we've been doing unlocks for like 10 fucking years. Just because there is an unlock in the game doesn't mean you don't get everything in the box. That just means it takes more time to get it.
Cosmetics don't even...
Cosmetics don't fucking matter.
They don't matter.
At all.
It drives me nuts that people are like, I paid money up front for a game, which means under no circumstances can you ever sell me anything again. Anything. Everything must be free from here on in. Like, right, if you're talking about real content, I get your point. There shouldn't be sectioning that off. You're talking about cosmetic unlocks, which you will eventually get over time for free, or you have the opportunity to spend a little bit of money to get them quicker.
Yeah.
They're cosmetic unlocks. What?
How is that
it's
not
literally
the most fair way to do it?
It's like, literally the most fair way to monetize the game. Yeah. Literally, there's no better way to do it. And here's the thing. Like, if you want to say, you should not charge for anything. Fuck you. I want that skin now. I don't want to play. I want to fucking play for $100 to get that skin. I want it now. And I got the money to pay for it. Why the fuck shouldn't I be able to pay for it?
It's a situation where you're accommodating people who have nothing but time to play this game, and you're accommodating people that work and earn money and don't have as much time to play this game.
Exactly.
They can enjoy the same things that the other people can enjoy by like investing some of that money they earned to like cut a corner. It's like balancing the game by offering this service.
It's consumer friendly. It is like the ability to skip that. Look, if it was shit that was actually affected the game, maybe it'd have a point, but it doesn't.
Have they, in competitive mode for Overwatch, have they limited the skins you can use? Do you have to use the basic skin?
I don't know. I mean, competitive mode's not even in right now, right?
Everyone knows.
No. I mean, sorry. I just mean in like tournaments.
I don't think so. I've seen people with skins. I mean, to be fair, you get to use them in League of Legends and Dota and shit. I don't see why they'd limit them.
There've been a few skins in games like League of Legends where they do have a slight advantage. Like,
see, I'm wondering if
Twisted Fate skin
are gonna be banned or things like that.
There's like a Blitzcrank skin where like it's kind of harder to see his pull, and like a Twisted Fate skin where it's kind of harder to see his like card throwing. Like I think they've like changed that, but like they saw it as an actual problem and changed it.
Yeah. I mean that doesn't mean that it's the whole thing is bad. It just means there was a mistake made, you know. It's like, hey, my skin is invisible. It's like, yes, I could see why that would be a problem in competitive mode, but
yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, all the cosmetics are available for literally everybody for free. If you want to skip some of that, you can to get the one that you want. That is up to you. And finally, the people bitching about it should be more fucking grateful to those who are actually paying to help support the development of the game in future.
Mm-hmm.
I always got this idea that, you know, free-to-play guys that never pay a dime for the game getting salty at people that do is like, beggars can't be choosers, motherfucker. You're paying this. You're not paying anything. You're playing for free. We're paying for you to play. That's how the model works. And you might say, oh, well, Overwatch isn't free to play. Yes, and it isn't, but you would only have a point if any of these unlocks affected the game in any way at all.
They don't.
It's like, well, why can't we get everything from the start? Because people wanted a progression system. That's why people are obsessed with the progression idea. That's why you don't get everything from the start.
They're not even putting, like, lore elements with characters behind any of that.
No.
Like, you're getting free comics that you can read online. You're getting free animated shorts that you can watch that help expand the world. None of the voice lines are, like, character-to-character interaction aspects or, like, reveal anything about the characters. They're literally, like, all of the interactions that happen between characters just happen naturally within the game. So voice lines don't add anything. Skins don't add anything. Like, it's literally just fun shit. It's all fun shit that doesn't matter. Like, I don't understand what people
And can we fuck this idea that, if you want to monetize your game in any way whatsoever, you have to go free to play? Fuck that. Overwatch would have sucked if it was free to play. You know, if there was any idea, you've got to unlock a character like fucking League of Legends, that game would be a disaster. Not to mention the number of hackers, the number of people who could just sign up for a new fucking account and troll the shit out of you. The fact that it has a paywall is good.
Because I only have Widowmaker, so you
Yes! It would ruin the whole fucking game!
I totally disagree with this notion of a development team puts years and years of work into a game, and then people just expect it to be free because they might have to buy cosmetics.
But they don't have to buy cosmetics. They never have to buy cosmetics.
It winds me up to no end. Like, why would you not want to pay for, like, any other walk of life, right? If you go to a restaurant and someone gives you a sandwich, you don't go, I really prefer if this sandwich was free like all of your other food. And then the next day the restaurant isn't there and you, like, just pay for the service, right? Just fucking pay for the service. It's the same as any other walk of life. Don't expect games to be free to fucking play. It's a dumb model.
Shitloads of free-to-play games shut down all the time. You realize that? For every successful free-to-play game to make money hand over fist, there are like 100 that are not. It's a limited model that can only work in so many ways, and it's prime for exploitation. That's why there's so many free-to-play games that end up being horribly monetized in really exploitative ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it's a $40 game, and you could optionally buy a loot pack if you want to get a cosmetic skin that doesn't do anything. Or you could not! I mean, people are offended by the mere presence of them. That's what really gets me. Like, you want to cheat codes and stuff. Yeah, okay, cool. If it was a single-player game, I might get your point there. But people
wish
wanted
I
a
had
progression system.
Hearthstone
This was the
cards.
only way to make a progression system that didn't affect the gameplay. But if you put that in, and then you say, well, you can't have this skin unless you get blind lucky on one of your level up loot boxes, then people who don't have a million hours to play every day are going to get a little bit pissed off about that. That's why you give the option of both. It's supposed to be good for everybody. It's just people
I
are
wish I
offended on
had
principle
Hearthstone
by it
cards
for
and
some
Clash
reason.
Royale cards like you. I wish I could afford to buy all those cards.
Well, I mean, I get it. Clash Royale is exploitative as fuck. There's no doubt about that.
That's like Hearthstone, because I was making decks. Like, I wish I could make decks like you, and I had all the cards.
Well, I mean, if you did that, you wouldn't watch my videos, so. But,
Yeah.
again, you buy into that idea because you bought a CCG. Like, it's all about collecting cards that way. And you know what was
Literally,
weird?
Yeah, the primary.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Scrolls went down the other mode. You know what happened to fucking Scrolls? It died. He's dead. Literally. It's dead. It's actually dead. Literally dead this time. Because you couldn't... Because I didn't have the fucking time to play 50-minute games to gradually unlock the stuff I needed for a deck. And the game's like, no, you can't buy it because we want to be fair to everybody. You know what? You were not fair to everybody. And look what happened to you.
It's happening to Paragon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
They just brought out a new guy. This Pudge. He's just Pudge.
He looks pretty neat. I like the look of him.
He's literally, his moveset is Pudge.
Every game has a Pudge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally every game.
They made it so that all of the movement in that game is faster, right?
Yes, I've been told. I need to go back and give it another try. I still think, whatever card system they've got is a bit kind of ridiculous. But you know what would have happened? Here's the thing. You could have sold Paragon for $40 and none of this would be a problem. Except you can't do that because people wouldn't have bought it. It would have just gone the way of every other game like that that's tried to sell itself for actual money. People would have just told it to fuck off.
Yeah.
That
was like my big problem with that game when I played it with Sam and Sohinki was like it's so slow. Like you just move around so slow.
It was.
So if they fix that, I don't see what would be bad about that game anymore.
The other problem was like the decks. The deck
Yeah,
building.
it's the deck building and the monetization aspect of it.
You can only get cards by playing games. So you have to put like 12 hours into the game before you can even be toe-to-toe with the regular players.
And the thing is, that guy's played more than you and is better than you anyway, so it's like a double whammy,
Sam really liked the whoever that fucking Grim Reaper dude was when he
The new dude?
was released. Yeah, you liked him, right?
Yeah.
He was like
I like the game. I'm waiting for them to take feedback from their community and just like, because obviously it's like in a stupid early development.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to make changes that will make me like it more, as opposed to me playing it and just getting frustrated constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the main point of the discussion was to point out that like Overwatch maybe has one of the fairest business models of anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
So complaining that you can optionally buy a loot box which gives you a skin or a voice line is ridiculous. It really is, I think. There's nothing wrong with companies making a little bit extra money to support the future development of the game after they've sold it to you, as long as they're not doing it in a way that affects the game negatively. And they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
I've said this for fucking years when it comes to cosmetics, and I think that some people have a hard line on it, and I think that having a hard line on anything is silly. That's a very closed-minded way of looking at things. There are good ways to do it and bad ways to do it. And when it comes to cosmetics, I think objecting to cosmetics is just it's petty. And the cosmetics are like the easiest, inoffensive way to make a bit extra money for the game. Complaining about that, if you're going to complain about that, it's like, what can they do? What are they allowed to do that would be acceptable? I don't know. Apparently nothing. You're not allowed to sell video games anymore. You can't do it. It's going to be free. It's going to give you everything, and we expect 10 years of future development, and no, you can't make DLC, and no, you can't make cosmetic unlocks, and no, you can't have microtransactions, and it's going to be perfect. That is the game. There we go. You can only make games like that from
Figured it
now on.
out. Guys, let's make a development
We
studio.
fixed
We
the
figured it
games
out.
industry. Woo!
We got it. We got
We
it
did
all.
it.
Whoop whoop!
Crack.
Amazing.
Crack. Let's do this.
Phenomenal.
We can call it F2P.
Yes. Yes. hmm
God.
Love it.
Yeah. Video games.
Life.
You know, life, you got to pay money too, right? It sucks.
The deadness in his eyes.
Wish life had skins.
It does. It's got loads of them, in fact.
Skins I could just pay for.
It's pretty shitty.
There's loads of
skins,
cosmetic
though.
skins you can pay for in life.
If only there were entire buildings that were filled with different shops with different types of cosmetic skins. What a world that would be.
We're talking about actual skin, not.
Well, I mean,
Plastic
you can do that
surgery,
too, but I mean, it's not. You'll probably get arrested for that.
Maybe.
Unless you're in like Cuba.
Unless you're in fucking shit. What's the name of that?
No.
Well,
Should we go to a break before we talk about mass murderers? Like,
Unless you're in Repo Man and you're the brother who takes up people's faces and puts them on his own face.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's
It's
go to
probably
break.
some Chinese cartoon nonsense. We're going
Or
to
the
break.
many
Once we come
things
back after the break, let's talk more about how people are angry that video game didn't come out when they wanted it to. You're watching the Croftsville Podcast. Don't go anywhere. This is bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optionaI Podcast, where we tell you you're an idiot. And you love it. You love every last second of it. Drink it in.
what?
No. So, Dodger, this is something that I know you've got a little bit antsy over the last couple of days, and you'd love to talk about, and that is No Man's Sky has been delayed, and that's the end of the world as we know it, apparently.
Holy fuck. Like, the subreddit for No Man's Sky, I didn't realize that they were so cray over a game that is not out yet. Like, it...
To be fair,
Absolutely.
what other reason would you have for posting on that subreddit for a game that isn't out yet? I mean, what else is there to do other than hype yourself to death?
Yeah, but when you hype yourself so much that the second a journalist is like, oh, I heard a rumor that maybe this game is delayed, you flip out and send death threats, like maybe you need to cool it. Like maybe you're too hype. Maybe you're too aggro about a game.
For this world.
not
You're too
played
aggro
yet.
for this universe.
It's
Jesus
not out yet.
It just blows my absolute mind.
I mean, I feel like it's an issue that fandoms online have had over the past few years in particular. I feel like it's kind of always been around, but since the advent of the internet, you can concentrate all of that in one place, and the crazy just multiplies beyond any form of reasonable. Yeah, there's a difference between anticipating a game and saying, hey, I'm kind of excited, this is coming out, that's kind of neat. Maybe I'll pre-order it, or something, or maybe I'll go stand in line at midnight. Not that you do that anymore, but hey, you know, that's what people used to do. Back in my day. Maybe, you know, then there is dedicating months and months and months of your life to a game that isn't out yet, getting involved in communities for a game that isn't out yet, and then getting really upset about the delay of a game that isn't out yet, and getting so mad that you would go and attack somebody else over it. It isn't out yet.
And I honestly, this happens so often that I do really believe that it's a certain age of gamer that just like doesn't.
I don't think it's gamer. I think it's fan. I think it's a fandom problem. It's not. We are very aware of it because we're so far into gaming. You know, but I think that probably happens with movies, with anime, with television shows. It fucking does happen with television shows. Something happens that people don't want to happen in the latest episode. They'll go fucking nuts. You know, even books and kind of anything that's developed a fandom where people, like, part of their life relies on this thing coming and being good is gonna create that attitude. And it's
also
horribly toxic.
where it's cultivated a group of people who feel very knowledgeable about the industry surrounding it as well, because then they feel very entitled to their like really aggressive opinion about it. It's like, you need to chill just a smidge.
Well, do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, I mean, there are people who were upset about the delay that expressed it in very like understandable ways, where it was like, oh well, it really sucks that this is now coming out at the end of summer when I wanted to play it throughout the summer, and maybe I won't wind up spending that much time on this game now because look, I have school. It's like, there you go. That's a way to express your upset without being like, I can't believe that they're delaying this game again, and I want to just fucking kill everyone. Wow.
Do you think that companies have part of the blame to bear for this kind of behavior? Like, that they encourage this rabid fandom to the point where people do get so fucking emotionally invested in this product that they do massively overreact when something doesn't go their way?
No.
You don't think so?
No,
a lot of the time they don't do anything.
But
the only thing they can do is be like, come in occasion, be like, y'all need to chill the fuck out, and then just like vanish again. But like a lot of times they don't do anything. The community just works themselves up into this frenzy and then fuck them out.
And I also just don't think that we can one day say, man, when games are coming out, it's really nice when the devs are consistently keeping us informed and like helping us, stay interested in the game and showing us what they're doing. And then on the other hand, be like, man, do you think that them interacting with us too much is turning us into crazy people? No, I don't think that it's their fault.
I think that for the most part, I think you're right on that. I just do see mostly bigger publishers getting very aggressive with their marketing and building fandoms prior to release, and their hype machine kind of going into overdrive. And in doing that, they're playing into the hands of obsessives in many ways. By telling people, oh god, this is going to be the best thing ever for literally years before it actually arrives.
I think that definitely benefits them until they make promises they can't keep. And that's where like a big problem occurs, is when they're like, this game is going to do this, and we're really reaching for the stars with this. We have like this really big, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this, and it's going to come out at this time, and then they don't meet expectations.
But that's the business model. That's how they stay afloat. They have to market and publicize the game. So it's a double-edged sword, because you can't win. You have to market the game to sell copies, but marketing the game creates the psychos. So it's like, what do? You either have a game that doesn't sell as well, or you have crazies.
It's a side effect, I think of it.
Yeah.
Is a company responsible for it? No. I mean, even if a game is aggressively marketed, people should still be able to control themselves to the point where they're not threatening people's lives over a video game that isn't out yet. I mean, it's not
definitely a problem with the person.
Yeah.
Hami wants them to cancel
That's
it
fair.
as a goof.
Oh my god. Holy fuck, can you imagine?
Let me explode and then be like, oh, we're just kidding, it's coming out. Like we just
Oh my god.
that would be amazing. I'd be so happy.
I think even in the case of like Peter Molyneux, who, constantly overpromises and underdelivers, it still does not justify that insane level of obsessive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, even if that game comes out and ends up sucking, okay, a video game sucked, right? That's not great, but it is just a video game that sucked. It isn't the end of the fucking world. But the problem is, if somebody is invested,
it is my world.
Well, the thing is, it becomes their world. It becomes their world when they invest so much time, especially prior to launch, into getting involved in things related to that thing, becoming a zealous part of that fandom, that it actually affects their real life in a real way. So it is, in a way, their world, because they've allowed it to consume part of their personality.
This is also a very current generation problem as well. This idea of being so excited about something and having constant streams of information about it at your fingertips.
The overload.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was super into an anime to the point where I was like, I need all of the fan fiction, I need all of the fan art, I need to be part of every forum, I need to talk to other fans, I need to just like feed this, I can, right? If I want to like dive in that deep. And it's the same for games. So, but that's not a thing that people could do until the last,
Yeah,
decade.
because if they were obsessed about something, one, they wouldn't have constant information. They'd have to like buy a magazine to figure that out or whatever. Also, they didn't have a place where they could meet other people that would enable their behavior.
Yeah.
And what we do have online now is a massive culture of enabling pretty fucking psycho behavior a lot of the time. Because other people like that, it's like, yeah, it's totally okay to literally spend 18 hours a day on this one product or something that maybe isn't even out yet, or obsessing about it. There's a level of, hey, being a fan of something is cool, getting involved in the fandom can be cool, sharing your interests, and then letting your interests consume who you are is... I mean, that's terrifying to me. I've seen what that can do to people.
People call me a pessimist all the time because I like ground people on this shit. Like people spend like $10,000 on a ship for that space game that might come out in 10 years.
Oh, Star Citizen, yeah.
I'm like, bro, relax. That game might not even be good. And then they're so fucking offended.
Well, if they spent $10K, of course they're offended because they invested in it.
Spend $10K, you dipshit.
I mean, you just told them, one, you just told them their decision was wrong, so they're going to be pissed about that. Secondly, they just invested actual real money into something, so they're probably suffering buyer's remorse, so there's that. The sunk cost fallacy is part of it.
You wake up in your bed and you look and you've got like a custom-made poster of the game that comes out in 4 years on the ceiling, and you're like, one more day. And then you walk over in your like sweaty pajama pants and you cross off another day on the calendar, one day closer to the inevitable maybe in 5 years release of this game. And then you look at your account and you spend every penny you've ever earned on a shit for a game that doesn't exist yet or is like partly existing. And then you're like, that was worth every penny. And then the game gets delayed. What do you do with your life?
You buy an esports team. This is the Roast Jesse show, right?
It is the Roast Jesse show.
Buy an esports team.
Okay.
You move them all into a house. Give more contracts.
Yep.
So there's something related to this that I'd like to talk about that, again, is on the subject very much of fandom to products and companies not necessarily deliberately exploiting it, but definitely benefiting from it. I don't know if you've heard about this. There is a petition to remove the Washington Post review of Uncharted 4 from Metacritic.
Why?
A petition that, because the score's too low, it says.
Fuck off. Really?
Yes. So I will read this. This actually has 9,300 signees, which makes me want to find every last one of these people and slap them about for being such good little soldiers for a company that just took their money. It's like, wow, you are unpaid PR shills. Well done. But their argument is that I'm going to read this out because it just buggers belief. So they linked the review, which is a 40 or a 40 out of 100, which, albeit, may very well be a little bit low for a game like that, but simultaneously, it's a made-up score. Who fucking cares? The petition reads as such: I'm sorry, but when having too much detail became a bad thing, this reviewer is out of his mind. I believe U4 is one of the greatest games ever created. It is my personal favorite for sure. Although I can justify some reviewers giving it a 9 or an 8. But this is an utter disgrace, Gene. Because you are the only respectable staff that responded to this nonsense. You should remove this review from the Metacritic and the Facebook, and post a new sensible one that can justify its existence. Your Washington Post, for Christ's sake, not a 12-year-old's diary, treats the game with professionalism and respect. Also, he never gave the game a rating in his review, so the 40 out of 100 should either be removed from the Metascore or added to his review. What? Things must be cleared. It's about the respect that the developers deserve for all the time and money put into this game. Something needs to happen.
You're literally killing the games industry, sir.
It goes on and on and on.
Holy shit.
You know what kind of bothers me more about this is that fucking Troy Baker, video game voice actor, tweeted the fucking petition out.
No, stop.
Troy, I believed in you.
Troy, please.
Troy, you were the best of us.
What are you doing, Troy?
Troy, why did you go down
Why
this
are you
dark road?
enabling these crazy fuckers? Like, oh no, a game you liked has a lower score than you think maybe it should, despite the fact these scores are all made up bullshit.
To all of our lives forever. Guess what? Sometimes people are gonna play a fucking game and they're not gonna like it, or they're gonna think that it's shitty, and you have to just fucking deal with it because it's their opinion. You don't get to make a petition and be like, your opinion was wrong and I need you to rework it. No. What? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh my God.
Troy, why did you do this to us all?
Why?
I think Troy wrote the petition and then tweeted it out.
It's just enabling.
This was Troy Baker.
Utterly insane behavior.
It's essentially like a petition to change someone's opinion on something.
I mean, the thing is, it's not even that, because like, honestly, the review, whether or not the review should be on Metacritic is entirely up to fucking Metacritic. More to the point, why do you care as much as you do about that? It's Metacritic. This game has 103 positive reviews and 1 negative one. One. Just one. This one.
Change it. One is too many. Change it.
It doesn't matter.
At Troy Baker, how could you do this?
No, apparently he might have apologized for it. We don't know. Somebody was saying he might have apologized for it.
Yeah, I mean, the tweet was from like 2 weeks ago. The thing is that, like, what annoys me more than anything is just that he tweeted it and actually enabled people like that.
Yeah.
Because it enables such insane fandom. That is not what you should be doing. Don't encourage people to act crazy. It doesn't look. If this thing is on Metacritic, who fucking cares? Has it made a blind bit of difference? Has it changed?
Gave it a 10 out of 10.
Great, good for them.
Thanks.
But some people had the temerity to give it an 8 or even a 7.5. Ah!
Man.
No, that's an outrage.
Outrageous.
I should probably die.
I don't think I've looked at like a review site in maybe
Same.
12 years.
Yeah, a long time.
But
Like since I used to buy gaming magazines, like I haven't looked at one.
to be fair, we're all like in the industry.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for us to come from the perspective of like somebody who's just buying games for goofs, because we just because
I'm not gonna buy a bad game though.
Yeah.
I'm just not an idiot.
It's like being a chef and being like, I haven't eaten at this place because I know all the good restaurants.
I wouldn't be caught dead at a taco truck. Sing out, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's more a case of like they're just like so upset over the fact that there's a made-up score on a site of made-up scores. It doesn't matter.
Ruining their life. It's ruining 9,000 people's lives.
Why do you feel the need to go to bat for this game that you bought?
9,000 people signed that petition.
9,000 people thought it was worth their time.
9,000 people read the description of that petition and were like, I stand.
And then added a signature and said, "You have my sword, my foam Minecraft sword, because I'm a fuckboy."
He owns a fucking fedora, you can guarantee it at that point. You have my... Anyone that says that, I am going to assume you own a trilby. Right? And you unironically own it too, and you wear it sometimes. And you have a shirt with dragons on it. I say this because as a 19-year-old, I own both a trilby, a samurai sword, and a shirt with dragons on it.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I've been there. I'm telling you, you need to rescue yourself from that particular abyss. Been there, man. This is a previous alcoholic telling you that drinking too much is bad. Trust me. I've been clean of dragon shirts and samurai swords for years. You need to join me on this.
Wake me up inside. Can't wake up.
I can't wait. Have you guys noticed? You know how it used to be Wolf Moon shirts?
Oh yeah, Moon shirts.
Have you guys noticed that nowadays it's like Cat Space shirts?
There's definitely a part of that, yeah.
I feel like cat space shirts are everywhere, and Wolf Moon shirts need to come back around.
They've taken the back seat.
They have. The 90s had their Wolf Moons, and I want the 90s
Also, just shirts with like sayings on them, like they're inspiring others.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Like
Those
live
still
life.
exist, and I don't
love.
understand why people still buy them.
Like FCUK, and they used to be like, I want a FCUK.
That was clever for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now they're just, it's like Hot Topic. However, Hot Topic, great sweatpants.
God damn it.
Patrick.
Incidentally, by the way, just to kind of cap this topic off, that review probably should not be on Metacritic, but ultimately, why do you care this fucking much, and why are you campaigning about something that doesn't fucking matter in any way? Please stop committing yourself to companies that only want your money. They don't love you. They don't.
I don't love you.
No, they don't.
Not the way I do.
No.
No Man's Sky loved you, but then they delayed their
No
love.
Man's Sky never loved you either.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky was a fucking liar. Yeah. He came
Man's
around and then
Guy
he
is the dad that went to get milk and never came
never
home.
came back. He went, I was going to make the cigarettes joke, but
I was
there you
gonna
go.
say No Man's Sky is the Tinder date and that stood you up.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's
No
reschedule.
Man's Sky swiped left on you.
Yeah. Yeah, you got swiped left.
Is that what the kids are doing these days? Like, I feel like I'm sort of
only
connecting
know
with them on a
about
real level here.
You were like, we're a match, and they were like, left swipe.
Is swipe
Ugh.
right a good? Like, is that they like it?
Yeah, if you swipe right, you're DTF. If you swipe left, you are
What the fuck is DTF?
Down
down to
fuck.
fuck, TB. Down to fuck.
You gotta learn the acronyms if you're gonna hang with the kids.
I've been
TV.
married for 10 years. Why do you think I would need to know that?
In case someone was ever like, yo, I'm DTF, now you know.
Now you can be like, no,
They-
thank you.
Yeah, you can be like,
No, thank you. I'm happily married
I'm
for
gonna-
a decade.
You just reach forward and you just swipe left on their face.
Why do you own Tinder if you're married?
Oh shit! What if we make a Tinder for video games?
There's already several of those, actually.
I'm sure that
What if we
exists.
make a good one?
What would we call it?
Nookie for nerds.
No.
Trilby.
Trill.be. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that probably already exists.
Yeah, we did it.
Oh,
There you go.
Everything we come up with, someone will steal right away.
Probably, yeah. That's great. I mean, that
Everybody
means we
has that
created something, right? We spawned this. We're responsible.
Yeah, I
The
was saying,
ultimate,
what
the
if
conclusion on this is, look, the message we're trying to get across is it is okay to be passionate about something, but, rein it in.
Don't be
Have
a
some
crazy
common
person.
sense. Don't become so invested in a company's product that you literally become their walking, talking PR zombie. They would love for that. They adore that idea, to have an army of people that will go to bat to defend them, that they don't even have to pay. Worse still, they pay you. I mean, it's a marketer's wet dream. Don't indulge them, for fuck's sake. There are so many things in this industry that really could be better, that we could really be, talking about and campaigning for. This is not one of those things. Some jackass, you want to get the all 138 other negative user reviews removed as well because their scores are unfair? Who gives a fuck? It's one guy's fucking opinion and a made-up score. It doesn't affect you in any way.
It's true. You can still
Anyway.
enjoy that game.
Did you
Without
retroactively enjoy the
getting
game less because the fucking Washington Post wrote some sarcastic review of it? No, you fucking didn't.
Yes, I did.
I did.
Thoroughly ruined my
They
gameplay
missed
experience.
the point of the game, TB, and it hurt to know that people were reading it and wouldn't buy the game and get the experience I did.
So I've created a PowerPoint of 58 slides.
I will encourage you to sit through all of them. They are very detailed.
I'll be back in 45 minutes. I just have therapy, and then we'll go over my findings.
I think they probably do need some therapy, honestly. That would be good.
Can we move on to releases?
Totally, yeah,
Do
absolutely.
we have a release list?
We do. I could even give
Holy
it to you.
shit.
X could deliver to you. Let's
X
see.
can deliver to you.
He can. There was a panel at MomoCon called X Gun Deliver to You. We didn't go to it. I'm just very curious as to what it was. If anyone did go to it and knows what that panel was, please tell me. I'm very curious.
What's it called?
Please send us the video.
X Gun Deliver to You. That was literally...
X-Con?
No, at MomoCon.
Was it like a bunch of prisoners? They were like, we've turned it around. We're delivering
X-Con.
them now.
Ha!
This is our story.
Yeah.
Civilization 6 comes out October 21st.
Time to get hyped! No, stop it. Stop getting hyped.
Oh, I thought you said time to get high, and I was like, sure.
Okay. That's,
I
we've
guess
just
so.
done a show. It's been very stressful. I think it's a good idea. Let's go.
Okay, guys.
Ugh.
31st, aka today, we have a game called The Dope Game, which I actually saw on Steam this morning. But I did
Yeah.
not click on.
I think it is what it sounds like. It's a drug dealing game, I think.
Oh, is it? Is it
yeah.
actually a drug dealing game?
Yeah. It's also cheap as fuck and probably awful, but let me have a look. You start your new life, you get a $2,000 loan. It's a adventure game by the looks of it. It's like a one-off sort of adventure game involving drugs.
It looks
some
like
sort.
it involves drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah, it is. I don't know exactly what that involves, but hey.
Someone's review was yes.
Can we start a petition to remove this review from Steam? Because that's one too many yeses. I think that's two more yeses than this game deserves. I feel it only needs 27 yeses, not 28.
Cool. Well, moving on, we have Dead Island Riptide Definitive Edition and just the Dead Island Definitive Edition. So there's those.
You can get them for like $3 if you already own it. So it's an upgrade basically to the game.
Got Rise of the Ancients, which is a thing.
That's a generic name. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's $1.19. It's a tower defense game. And it
It's
looks
a
like it's made in
generic
1997. Woo!
Negative reviews.
Indeed.
It's all negative reviews. It has no positive reviews at all.
Oh no. Well, the next game is called VR Regatta, which is just a VR sailing game.
Yep.
Oh, I get my VR this week.
Ah, fuck.
The next one looks pretty good, called Waltz of the Wizard. Yeah, this is another VR game. You combine potions and do magic spells and shit. It's free, but it looks really, really, really good. Like, it's basically, apparently it's something of a tech demo, but obviously it's free, so that's pretty cool.
This next game we saw on the list like a week ago or a couple weeks ago, so I don't know.
Elite vs.
if it was
Freedom?
just pushed. Yeah, Elite vs. Freedom. It has negative reviews. So.
One. It only has one actual review that is negative, and they've played it for 0.1 hour. So that's worth listening to. We should petition to remove that review from Steam. Yeah, it's a sort of indie third-person shooter of some description.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, the next one is called Torgar's Quest.
Torgar's Quest. It is a roguelike dungeon crawl. Oh my god, that looks basic. You know, when games of 2016 look like Chip's Challenge, you know there's something wrong. Next game is Angus Hates Aliens. You know, this looks kind of cool. I like the art style of this a lot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a lot of the old Super Nintendo games. Like, genuinely, an actual, like, retro-inspired graphic style that actually looks like one.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a shooter of some description. Reminds me of games like Mercs and things, like, from the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive era.
Yeah, for
Looks
sure.
pretty neat, actually.
The next game is called Tower 3D.
$30 for a successor to the Airport Tower Simulator, Tower 2011. So, air traffic control simulator.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
The next game is called Demetrius, The Big Cynical Adventure. So it's
Point
a
and click.
full-length adventure game packed with cynical humor. 8 to 12 hours of fun. And yeah, it's a point and click game.
Yep.
Next up is Tumbleweed Express.
This is apparently a sort of on-rails defense game, but you're a train with guns.
Okay, great.
Which kind of seems a bit neat, actually. There's one more I want to add to the list, by the way. It's DLC, but the expansion to Renowned Explorers comes out today, called More to Explore. So I'm very much looking forward to trying that out, because Renowned Explorers is fucking brilliant, and you should try it.
Cool.
So there's my endorsement on
play
that.
game, and then we couldn't do multiplayer, and then Jesse was like, screw this game.
No, fuck this.
It's not a multiplayer game.
Well, he
That's
thought
all.
it was.
That's because he's an idiot. Next.
All right, June 1st, we have Wander No More.
Visual novel. Or they call it a kinetic novel, a visual novel without any choices.
That means you have no choices. Yeah, it's literally just a novel that you click through.
Okay.
Next up is called Directionless, an experimental virtual reality horror game.
Fuck that. Fuck. Their logo is a pink cat. I don't trust it one little bit.
Next up is called The Concourse.
A highly competitive racing game that forces players to literally think on their feet, use wits and reflexes to conquer randomly generated courses. Win and influence the future races by choosing a modifier increasing the challenge. Okay. I assume it's a multiplayer? Yeah, it's a multiplayer game. Interesting.
Next game is called Artificial Defense. Real-time strategy game combining orbital shooters and tower defense components.
What is an orbital shooter?
Virtual reality setting.
What is an orbital shooter exactly?
I don't know.
Neither do
I
I.
have no idea.
It's an electrifying experience, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds it, especially when you say it like that.
The idea of a real-time strategy game that's in VR is interesting to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I played Air Mech Command on the Oculus, and it worked fairly well, actually.
Cool. The next game is called Hashtag Dungeon. Oh, God.
It uses Twitter as its method of dungeon generation.
Oh, gosh.
So it lets you, like, tweet out your levels to people and shit and play other people's levels via Twitter. Which seems... I mean, that's an interesting idea, certainly.
Yeah. All right. Okay. The next game is called Smoot's World Cup Tennis.
I think that's relatively understandable, yeah.
Yeah. Next up is called Underwater Adventure.
3D action game with a little part of puzzle, apparently.
Great. Next up is The Naughty Project, N-A-D-I in all caps.
Not the Naughty Project.
Not the Naughty Project,
No.
the Natty Project.
A first-person graphic adventure. You will face various challenges. It's walk around. Inspired, apparently, by Ether One and Ethan Carter. So they say.
All right, this next one is called Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus.
Ah, it's the booby battle game. One of two booby battle games that we're getting on June the 1st.
It's a booby shinobi game.
Yes, it is. A fairly successful series on PlayStation, I think, if I recall correctly, where if you hit the ninjas enough, their clothes fall off and such. It's kind of a bit Dynasty Warriors, bit kind of God of War, and lots of boobs and underwear and such, and costumes, and yeah. I'm sure that game will sell very well.
Probably. I'll buy it.
I have no doubt.
Next up is Tikara Puzzles.
It's a match 4
puzzle game.
Wow, we've truly innovated. Next.
After that, we've got Beyond Flesh and Blood.
It is a shooter. It's an early access. It has robots and gory violence, apparently.
Alrighty. Next up is Beater Spirit. It's a side-scroller. It's a game where you make your own rules. What?
Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
You make your own rules.
Create a match of any size and complexity and get a reward for completing it. What? I don't
Next.
understand.
What is beaters?
I don't know. Okay, Pool Nation VR. Is that a swimming VR game? Because that would.
I assume it's actually the game Pool, not a swimming game.
Thank God. Billiards VR.
Yeah.
Yes, it's virtual
Okay, great. One-chan Bara.
Yeah.
Chaos.
So this was the sequel, I think, to Bikini Zombie Slayers or some shit. I think this was on PS4 for a while. I know Jim Sterling did a video of it a long time ago. It's like, literally, you are wearing barely any clothes, you kill zombies. It's apparently surprisingly good, despite being, mostly just, there's no way that this outfit is practical. But for some reason, it's popped up on Steam, and it's coming out tomorrow. And it has downloadable Pigtail DLC. No, I'm deadly serious. Golden Kagura Pigtails is in the downloadable content for this game.
See, that's what we were looking for.
That's what we want.
Yeah. So that's a thing. So if you don't like the one anime booby game, you've got another anime booby game.
Perfect. And if you don't want either of those, you can get Sacred Line Genesis Remix, which looks horrifying. It's a horror visual novel.
Can you buy pigtails?
I do not think so, but there's an eyeball in a doorway.
A surreal, twisted, kinetic novel tribute to obscure visual novel adventure games of the 90s. Claiming being originally designed and developed for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. Really? Wow. I don't know how that happened, but okay. I feel like there's a story there that we don't quite know about.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. And now we're moving on to June 2nd. We've got Coffee Pot Terrarium.
That's a terrible name for a video game.
Coffee, and there's no coffee to be found.
There's no coffee in Coffee Pot Terrarium?
No.
What the fuck?
It's a turn-based game of tact and tile manipulation.
No,
That's not coffee.
that ain't coffee. Boo.
It actually looks pretty nice, but I don't see the coffee element here.
Yeah.
Okay, then what about Music Wars Empire?
Music Wars? You are the manager of a CEO of a record label. Try to make your mark in the industry. So, tycoon, sim game.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next up, we've got Pata Noir. The Baron's daughter is missing, and you're the one to find her.
Can
With
it,
your inexhaustible arsenal of hard-boiled similes, there's nothing you can't handle. What?
Oh my god.
The hard-boiled
Final
similes.
Screenshot in that list of screenshots and tell me what's happening.
What the fuck?
it's a simulated book interface, apparently.
Is it like a choose-your-own-adventure
Yeah, it's
novel?
interactive fiction by the looks of it, in which the metaphors you live by become tools to solve the mystery, apparently. With a postmodern rock soundtrack.
All right. Great.
Okay, all right then.
Cool. Well, the next game is called Investigator.
It's a first-person horror game.
All right.
Neato.
Next up is Mini Thief.
I feel like I've heard of
assume
this.
you play Mini Thief.
Can you
Burgle
escape with the loot?
houses. Obtain sweet, sweet loot.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a tiny thief in it.
Tiny Thief, basically.
Next up is called Swift.
That's a lot of fucking video games.
There's like so many in the next couple of days.
Yeah, and not a lot of them look brilliant, I have to admit. This is a 2D online multiplayer platformer with a one-hit combat system, apparently. Yeah, looks very basic, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
This next one is called Mattress. It's like a Tetris spin-off, and it looks kind of interesting, but I cannot for the life of me understand how it's being played.
Yeah.
Like, you have a grid and you're trying to fill it up with Tetris shapes. But, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's some kind of logic puzzle by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would play that. That looks cool to me. Next up is called Meridian Squad 22.
Single player RTS, I believe. Yeah, it was in... I think this is a sequel to something. I think there was something called Meridian New World, which was also a... Yeah. Yeah, this is a sequel to a single player kind of indie RTS, by the looks of it, going into early access.
Next up is called Cabitus,
Cabitus.
a new 2D platformer game based on classic platformers with an updated twist.
I'm sure it is.
Doesn't look like anything
It
particularly
looks
special.
like
to be honest.
a nice Flash game.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
looks like a Flash game to me too.
Next.
Grim Legends 3: The Dark City.
Hidden object game, I believe. Yep.
Check.
It is.
Okay. Next up is called Arafel. Arafell. Arafel.
16-bit era Japanese-style RPG. Yep. Sure looks like RPG Maker sprites to me. That's because it is. Yep.
Next up is called A Game of Changes.
Game of Changes. 3D puzzle platformer. Takes you along a unique journey of wisdom. I don't know about that, but okay.
Dude, I feel wiser just from looking at these screenshots.
No kidding. Next.
The next one actually looks
Nice.
really cool. It's called The Battle for Sector 219. It's a strategy card game.
Mhm.
I don't know. It looks... I can't understand how it's being played from these screenshots, but it looks
Yeah.
interesting.
They're claiming it's more of an abstract card game.
Yeah.
And sort of placing unit cards on a board and stuff like that.
Right.
I will try it. I do have a code for this, but it definitely does not look like your regular run-of-the-mill card games, so might be worth a look at it.
Yeah. Next up is called Medieval Battlefields.
Medieval Battlefields Black Edition, I believe, for whatever reason.
Ooh.
This looks like it'd be a great game in 1998.
Turn-based tactics game with basic graphics, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
This next game is like a full version of a mini game I've played in so many different things. It's called Plith, and it's entirely gears that you're trying to put together to make the machine work, and every level is just that.
Yeah.
I feel like every game that's had oh man, we need to unlock this lock mechanic has been like, let's do this mini game with gears.
Yes,
And
it's
that's
that.
what Plith is.
Yeah, it's a whole game of that.
All right, moving on to June 3rd, we've got Kartcraft.
It is a realistic kart racing game,
Okay.
which sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not.
Next up is Farming 6-in-1 bundle.
It is 6 games about farming in one, including My Farm Life 2, Terra Farmers, Tropical Farm, Virtual Farm, and Virtual Farm 2. So just in case you're sick of Stardew Valley and want 6 terrible games based kind of on that, then there we go.
Perfect. What about Age of Barbarian Extended Cut?
Wasn't this the... Yeah, it was a revival of the 80s side-scroller Barbarian. And if I recall correctly, the original version looked awful, and this one does definitely not look any better.
What the shit? There's like a dog humping her.
I think that's attacking her, not actually humping her. Oh god, the character models look very interesting. Let me put it that way.
What the shit is this game?
Well, there's your next video. Next,
Next up is called Projector Face. It's a point and click.
you literally have a projector for a face, trying to communicate in the only way he knows how, because he has no voice. He has a projector for a face.
He just has to show people pictures.
I like the art style actually. It's
I do too.
looks nicely
the theme.
retro.
I like the idea of having a projector for a face.
I think that's a terrible idea.
Next up is called Nebula.
Action platformer.
Great.
There's some lasers
Next
in it.
up.
Next.
Next up is called Dangerous Golf.
Ooh. As opposed to regular golf, which is far too mundane. Welcome to the world of Dangerous Golf, an arcade-style sports game with a very explosive twist. Brought to you by the founders of Criterion, as in the guys that made Burnout. This looks surprisingly not awful, actually.
Burnout was great.
Well,
It
yes.
actually looks like really like that you're playing golf in like a kitchen. Like what the
And
shit?
things are exploding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this in Unreal 4? It looks like it's very high fidelity for a
Yeah.
golf game.
I'm gonna bookmark this.
Yeah, this might be interesting. It's got 4 ways to play. There's online modes. There's explosive shit. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Next game is called Rescue Lucy. You play a little girl who's looking for her dog. It might be a hidden object game. It's either a hidden object game or a point and click, judging by the screenshots.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. It's a mysterious, atmospheric game.
So
And then, it's so mysterious. And then we've got Amulet of Dreams.
Hidden object game.
Perfect. And then we have A Healer Only Lives Twice.
As a newly hired priest, your duties are to use your magical abilities to heal your comrade, a knight on the front lines. So, yeah, this is a game where you actually play the support guy, and apparently the knight does all the work.
You play as
Alright.
Mercy, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's an interesting idea. All you need to do is heal.
Great. The next game is called Planet Centauri.
Explore hidden dungeons, capture and tame monsters, build and protect an NPC community, craft your own weapons, create magic spells. Obviously, it's early access. Of course it is. When is that kind of thing not? You can ride dinosaurs in it. It looks very Terraria, but in space. Very kind of Star. It looks incredibly Terraria. Jesus. Yeah. That is... yes, that's very similar. Okay.
This next game is called Hard Reset Redux, and it actually
Yes.
looks really cool.
Yeah, so Hard Reset came out a few years ago. It's the guys that made Shadow Warrior.
Okay.
And Hard Reset originally was like their first attempt at making, hey, we're going to make an old school shooter, but with new graphics. It was pretty good. This is a kind of remastered version. They've changed it. They've added a fucking energy lightsaber thing to it. They've changed a bunch of things about the game. I played a little bit of it earlier, and I mean, it plays like Hard Reset does, which I actually liked Hard Reset. So it's cool that they're doing... I don't know why they're re-releasing it, but it's cool that they are, because that game was pretty good.
Cool. Next up is called Grand Pigeon's Duty.
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 Pigeons organize resistance, which aims to attract people's attention to the problem of hunger and restore bakery companies for their bait. I'm sorry, what? Is that a real sentence?
In the near future, people decided to abandon human organs and replace them with innovative petrol implants that allow to prolong life.
Did you just say petrol?
Petrol.
Petrol!
Petrol.
Oh, fuck you.
Petrol. Almost
They sound
all
the same to me.
were ruined or converted into refueling. Due to lack of organic food, pets were on the verge of extinction. Worst of all, had birds that were unable to adapt to new conditions of life without human food. This is like without grammar or anything. Pigeons organize resistance, which aims to attract people's attention to the problem of hunger and restore bakery companies for their bait. Pigeon John decides to help urban birds using their unusual disease of the digestive system.
All right.
Yeah. Next.
Anima Gate of Memories. It's a third-person action RPG.
It apparently is, yes.
And then next
Combat
up is called
exploration.
Smithy. Or
called what?
Smithy.
Smithy. I imagine that's about making shit. It's not. Smithy is an underground rodent that happens to be an excellent weaponsmith. It is about making shit. Purchase and upgrade weapons while destroying everything standing in your path. You're a fucking hamster with a gun and you make weapons.
Great.
For some reason.
I like it.
On
Dreams of imagination.
You could be anything you want to be.
On June 4th, we have Wanda, A Beautiful Apocalypse. That is a minimalist game about two robots who want to be happy.
Adorable.
And then we have another fucking Sakura game.
It will never end.
Sakura Dungeon is coming out. I don't think we even need to look it up. Let's be real. We all know exactly what this game probably looks like.
I don't.
Yeah, it's a first-person sort of dungeon crawler, except everything you're fighting is in anime bikinis and has big boobies and such.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like what I thought it would.
Yep, looks exactly like any Sakura game does. Next.
Oh my god. Okay. Those are literally. Oh my. You know what else pisses me off about that? Those are the exact same fucking character models from their clicker game, and they were like, "We got to keep cranking out Sakura games." So what the fuck are we?
People keep buying that shit. They want the anime boobies.
Dungeon. Fuck you. Finish Sakura Fantasy, you pieces of shit.
Sakura VR.
Yes. The next game is called Slash or Die.
Well, they didn't tell you much from the description at all, so I have no idea what this
Slash
is.
or you die.
I'm gonna go with like slash or you get slashed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it should be called.
There is
Slash
no
or
good
get
description for this game at all on the Steam page, so fuck knows what that actually is.
Next up, on June 6th, we have Soul Trader. S-O-L Trader.
A
SOUL.
genre-busting space sim. Lean on your
Not on
network of
here, it
in-game
says
friends and
SOL.
family to trade. So it's a single-player game of 2D spaceflight and strategic manipulation of your network of contacts. I'm intrigued. I don't know what it is exactly, but it sounds interesting. Okay.
Hey.
Next up, we have Stranger of Sword City.
Oh, that's coming to PC. This was on Vita.
Oh.
That actually looks quite good. It's a sort of Japanese dungeon crawl game with a really cool art style. It's they call it a DRPG. I think the sort of Japanese dungeon crawl game. It looks surprisingly good. I don't know how good the Steam version's going to be, but it's an NIS game.
Cool.
Nippon Ichi Software. So yeah, that's cool. It's coming to PC. I'm kind of surprised to see it, but hey.
Next up, we have Hearts of Iron 4.
Also known as the really fucking hard, complex World War II political grand strategy wargame simulator.
True facts.
And last but by every fucking means least...
super duper party pooper.
Fuck you. It's the idiots that made There's
Fuck
Poop in My
you.
Soup. Those fucking morons. Yeah, it's the same company. It's like, we're gonna make another game about shitting, and we're randomly gonna put fucking YouTubers and streamers in the game because we really want your fucking attention. Fuck off.
God damn it.
Fuck. I mean, you're in it, Dodger. You realize that, right?
What?
I'm pretty sure you're. I know
I'm in
they
super duper party
no
pooper.
in There's Poop in My Soup. They put a bunch of fucking parody YouTubers in their fucking game to try and sell copies.
Wait, can you just sue them?
No, you can't sue people for parody.
There's poop in my soup.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if it's you who's in it, but I know they added me and they added like Markiplier and but with different names and shit. It's like,
Right.
no, fuck you. I'm not playing your stupid game.
Oh man, it's like Pro Evolution Soccer when they like change the names of all the players. They didn't
Yeah.
have the rights.
It's kind of like that. They even sent me a fucking PR email about it. I wanted to just send them a box of glitter.
Send them an actual human turd and be like, "This is what
Actual
it's like."
feces.
The reviews are very positive, guys. They're
Of course they
very...
are. It's a fucking stupid PewDiePie meme game, is what it is. Fuck it.
is.
And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. That's a lot of games. The vast majority of them don't look very good, but hey. So maybe spend this week revisiting a game that you have maybe abandoned at some point. That's maybe better now. Who knows? That's something to do.
Anywho, that's it. We did it. That's all of them.
Yep. Pretty much. All right. Thank you for watching the Co-optionaI Podcast, folks. Before we go, we'd love to let you know what exactly we're going to be doing over the next week. So, Strippin, what's going on?
I am currently doing a Dark Souls Soul Level 1 playthrough on Dark Souls 3, which means you stay at level 1, no upgrades or anything. And I've been playing through that this week, so that's a lot of fun. If you like Dark Souls and you like me dying 100 times to a boss, come and check that out. And if you want to find me, you can find me at Strippin on Twitter and Strippin on Twitch and YouTube.
Cool. Crendor, what are you doing?
Yes. What am I doing? Well, on youtube.com/WowCrendor, you can find a lot of Hearthstone, because I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone, because I'm still having fun with this expansion. We should play another legendary deck battle.
I'm
That's all I'm
sure
saying.
you would like more ad revenue. I get that.
I would like more ad revenue. Dude,
Your
that last
intentions
video
are
we
transparent.
made- That last video I made's got like 500,000 views.
Exactly. That's why you've been badgering me for it to do another one. I get
Yeah,
it.
come on.
I got other shit to do, man.
Come on!
Come on.
Come on.
Ugh.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of Hearthstone and just random stuff. And then I've been streaming over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Crendor. And I just play random stuff. We've been playing a lot of Overwatch. That's where I play Overwatch mainly. And, oh yeah, the Culling. We've actually been playing a lot of the Culling too. It's still a fun game. They just updated it. And yeah, twitter.com/Crendor, facebook.com/Crendor.
You're not even trying anymore, are you?
No.
It's like your battery died halfway through the box.
Dodger, what's coming up with the show this week? What's going on?
So we finished our second run of Hustle Cat. If you guys would like to watch that, it's been very fun. Gonna be starting on another short game to do in the meantime before we go into season 3 of Hustle Cat, because we have to touch all the cat butts. And I now stream 5 days a week, which is super fun. So I would love it if you would check that out on twitch.tv.
And she only plays Darkest Dungeon.
I've been playing a lot of it. Yeah. Is this so, man, I got a bunch of level 5s now. Fuck. Soon I'll be able to actually attack the Darkest Dungeon. It'll be
You're
great.
gonna die.
Yeah, that's it. At Dex Bonus on everything, and have a great day.
Cool.
Be safe.
Stuff will come out eventually, but more to the point, tomorrow I'm actually going to do a pilot of a live version of 15 Minutes a Game. I'm going to do that on twitch.tv/TotalBiscuit at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to do like 6 games, maybe even more than that. Who knows? We're going to try some stuff, probably a lot of the stuff that we mentioned today. Going to download it, going to get it all ready, and we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it some first impressions. So please do tune into that, twitch.tv/TotalBiscuit on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Outside of that, stuff that's on its way. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm ready to record. I just haven't got around to doing. WTF is a Riff Racer I need to get done, which is a music racing game. Off-World Trading Company I still haven't done. I want to do another video on 8-Bit Armies. Now they've released their second faction. Hearthstone videos, maybe. That kind of thing, you know? Yeah. If I can actually get it done. Not with Crendor, though. Not with him. No.
No.
You could at least try and sound disappointed.
Uh,
You don't even... That's not the best you could do.
yeah.
He doesn't even have the passion for it.
I'm in a constant state of neutrality.
Oh, shit. They just released Lightblade VR, a virtual reality training simulator with plasma blades. It's basically fucking lightsabers. Lightsabers for Vive.
Perfect.
I need my
Man,
Vive. It's
I don't-
supposed to get here like in 2
I'm
days.
going to have to install that.
2 days.
I think I'm going to have to install that. I'm going to swing my fucking lightsabers around and break shit around my room. That... I hope that doesn't suck.
right.
I really hope that doesn't suck.
Need to
All right, we're
smash
pretty much
into something
done.
More than a fan.
Thank you very much for watching the Co-optional Podcast. Next week, assuming Jesse actually shows up, he'll be back on the show, and I guess we'll be Force Strategy Gaming. As he,
Oh shit.
Yep, he's going to be here. So we'll be around the usual time, 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, which will be the 7th of June. Thank you very much for watching the show, folks, and we will see you next time. Goodbye. Yes, goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Be excellent to each other and party on, dude.